Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, they have all my wonderful dear friends and clobberers and clobberers and friends and clobbering friends to Clobberin Times issue number 245 on YouTube, number 945 overall. Monday night, Mark C. Comics Talk coming at you, buddies. Great to see you. It is just always so much fun to hang out with all of you tonight. And that's all we're going to be doing. It is Monday Night Mark C. Comics. I don't have a specific topic. Going to be talking comics. Going to be maybe recommending some. Hey, you guys can recommend a few too if you would like. Whatever, just keeping it casual. Hopefully some friends will pop in later. We'll see. But some fantastic friends are already here in the chat, including Zax, the Hulk villain. The villainous Hulk villain, speaking of. Good to see you there, sir. The great Snortapoopus. What's up, buddy? D. Bud Martin, the man of iron. Eric K. Brother, the Bronze Surfer. Hope you are doing better, buddy. When you're feeling better one of these days, you should come on here and talk Silver Surfer with me or whatever. I don't really know which comics you've ever liked or read. I know you're a Silver Surfer fan. One of these nights, come on and talk some Surfer with me, bud. The great Stuart Mitchell. What is up, my brother? And as always, keep the fires ever burning, and never forget, folks, that Dolly had braces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who else be's here tonight? The great Steve Mitchell. What's up, brother? Good to see you, buddy. Phantom Outsider, yo, bro. Kal-El, good to see you, my friend. J-Man, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. See you there. Hungry Boy Brother. All right. The Richard. Well, hello there, the Richard. It is an honor to see you pop in, my friend. It's Beta Coon's age, buddy. Good to see you. Let's see here. So far, that's all we got. We will greet accordingly. Whoever shows up here this evening. I know it is a busy YouTube tonight. And sorry about that. I was eating something I shouldn't eat. Anyway, well, of course, folks, I want to do a few show notes. Much love to all of you who hung out with Raquel and I for yet another slam bang smash of a Saturday night Star Trek. It was, as always, epicness. And we had a fantastic time, as we do every Friday. I listen to Friday night. Saturday night for Saturday Night Star Trek. Reviewing Star Trek, all of Real Trek only, 1966 through 2005. Brightest day. What's up, buddy? Zach, how you doing, man? Got to hang out and talk one of these days. You can come. I know you work in the middle of the day, but you got to come to the Global Geek Gang one of these days when you get a chance, or one night or whatever, man. Good to see you. But yes, look, Raquel and I, as always, we had a fantastic time on Saturday Night Star Trek. All of you, thank you all so much for all that great just interaction that we had with you. Just really makes it amazing. And it's truly special for us. And this coming week on Saturday Night Star Trek, we will be ending season 3 and even crossing a little bit over into season 4 with both parts of the Best of Both Worlds. Yeah, Richard, I never understood why it doesn't let you tag anyone on the phone when you're using this on your phone. But the same deal. I can't tag anyone. I hate that. But anyway, it's just an honor to see you here, Richard. Let's see here. Oh, okay, brightest day. Cool, man. Cool. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Quick show notes. Again, I don't have anything set up. Wednesday night's going to be probably... I may have a topic. I may not yet. I've got to look into that and be sure. Thursday, though, the Global Geek Gang. Again, it'll be just kind of an open Global Geek Gang, as will Clobby's Clubhouse Thursday night. And, of course, again, Saturday night Star Trek coming up. But I did drop a video to them. Also Wednesday and Thursday, of course. Wednesday, the next Clobby's Comics Corner Spinner Rack Time Machine video will drop. Working on that now. And then Thursday, the wrap-up video for that Clobby's Comics Corner Spinner Rack Time Machine Quick Bits will drop as well. Plus, I dropped an unexpected video. I'm going to try to do a few more types of videos soon. And I dropped a video just about a half an hour ago that is up and running now if you have not seen it. It is based on a little conversation that we had the other night with the wonderful Purple Valkyrie that she and I both had. Here's, of course, there's a picture of it. There is the link in the description below if you have not seen that video yet. Last week on this very program, Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk, the beautiful Purple Valkyrie and I were having a little conversation based on something that was a suggestion, a memory jog, if you will, of the night before on our good buddy, the great Mark D with a C's channel. We were talking about Halloween and stuff like that. It was the night after Halloween. And we were talking about, Steve had mentioned a very strange, very wacky, crazy out there issue that I'd totally forgotten about called, it was The Incredible Hulk number 222. It was Feeding Billy. So I just kind of, the conversation the next night that I had with Purple about it, I just kind of snipped that conversation we had. And I just talked a good bit about this. It's a short video, 12, 13 minutes. But I chopped that and made a little video out of it talking about, giving basically a rundown of what this comic book was about in the company, of course, of the wonderful Purple Valkyrie. And it was a lot of fun. We had a great deal of fun talking about it. This is crazy. This is the weirdest. No, Purple's not here tonight. I think, I don't like to bug her. I love it when she comes on, and I do bug her to get her on here a lot. But it's very late over there, so if she's unless she's just, she's running around and has nothing to do, she's always welcome here, and I love her. But I don't like to bug her too much, make her stay up too late. But I love her, so she's always welcome. And she joined me last week. And Aaron Baker, good to see you. And we talked about this really weird comic book that I'd forgotten about till Steve had mentioned it the night before on Mark D's show. And I bought this thing when it came out, either via subscription or off the rack. I can't remember now. I had a subscription to the Hulk for a while back then. Remember subscriptions, folks? They're all mailed flat. Steve Mitchum, it's 4 a.m. I'm pretty sure it's 10 p.m. there, but 4 a.m. there. If they said here, yeah. See, I can't see very well. I was about to say, Steve, what crazy boy? Did you go over to? Yeah, but no, yeah, you're right. It's 4. Is it 4? Holy shit. And anyway, okay, I'll tell you that in just a second there, Stuart. So anyway, this is the new video, and if you like to, yes, I figured that. I just couldn't see the T there. I have a very dirty screen there, Steve. But I hope she is getting some rest. Of course, I stay up very late a lot, and I guess she does too. So I love it when she comes and hangs out with me. But anyway, you can hear her lovely voice on this video. As I said, I dropped the, there it is again. There's the link to my new video. I'm going to plan to try to do a few more types of videos as well. Yes, Stuart. The other night when I went to the theater to see this turd blossom here, this garbagey movie, The Eternals, and I was telling the story the other night when I was reviewing the film with my good buddies Mark D and J-Man and Sean and Nicholas as a Nick Weiser. I don't know if are any of you familiar with the check-in feature on your Facebook. I have Facebook. I use it for the show, and I use it for keeping contact with a lot of people. Iron Caster, what's up, brother? Yes, I am in trouble. I'm in trouble with that. Well, yeah, I should have amended that online. Don't tell her. Don't tell on me, buddy. So, I'm sitting at the theater about to suffer through this debacle. And I do because I haven't been to a movie theater in over, like a year ago last August. But I usually, when I go to movies, just for the fun of it, I do the check-in, so friends can let you know they're going to see it, or they can just, they can say, or they can razz you and say, oh, you're going to see that, or they can say, how was it, that sort of thing. It's kind of cool, So I did the check-in, and all I did was I checked it in at the Cinemark or whatever, and click the, Marvel's Eternals. And all I said was, the only words I said were, no, I'm not proud, ... and I'm not hopeful either. Hello there, Lee Anthony Davis. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful, I believe, night or morning, whatever it is over in your part of the world. It is good to see you, though. Thank you. Good to see you, sir. So, I did the check-in thing. That's the only words I said. I didn't say the movie sucks. It does suck, but I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about the movie one way or the other than, yeah, I'm not proud, and then ... basically, and I'm not hopeful either, but we'll see. That was about it. Goofy, nothing off comment that could not have been. How it could be offensive to anyone, I don't even. I'll never understand. So after the movie, like I always do with these things, I check to see if anyone's goofing on me for going to see it. That's absolutely, J-Man. He would have, goofing on me or asking how it was or saying they saw it too, whatever it was. Not there. And nobody commented. That's weird. And I just kind of forgot about it. The next night, we're doing this review again with the great J-Man and Mark D and Nicholas and Sean. And I go to check something on my Facebook, and for some reason I use my phone for it or whatever. And I go in there, and for some reason, I'm getting this this warning, this scolding from friggin' Facebook. Which I wish I had a screenshot. I can't remember. Which basically boiled down to if you this is bad. It's hate speech. It's just some kind of bad speech. I don't know what it was, but if you do it too many times, you can be canceled off of Facebook or restrict. I don't know, stricken from Facebook. It doesn't tell you much. I don't understand why this happened because I've cut down my Facebook activity considerably. I use Twitter because it's useful. When you have a show, you have to use Twitter or Facebook. You just have to. Just for networking and such, and you keep in contact with a lot of people. So I use my Facebook mostly. I do also keep in touch with some family members around the world. As well as, again, I use Twitter a lot. But I don't really put anything I put nothing controversial on Facebook ever. Ever. I mean, I'll admit, look, on Twitter, I retweet some political things here and there, but even there, I don't really do much of it. And I don't really have a lot of problems on Twitter with that kind of stuff. But this one, what is political about this? I mean, if it was, I don't know what it was. But I actually, I hear what you're saying, Ironcaster. And if it's not that I would lose any sleep over it, but I do, keep in contact with a lot of people that it would be a little more of a pain in the ass to keep in contact with without Facebook, but it can be done, But it's useful for having a show and all that stuff, But these jackasses, again, they won't explain to me what I said. And did some freaking idiot report it? Like, and now he's making fun of Eternals. Fuck Eternals. The movie sucks. Kal-El, I never use. I have an Instagram. I put a picture once in a while. I never really use it. I've had Instagram for a long time, and I used to, anyone who would follow me, I would just get your phone back or whatever, would look at stuff. And, Instagram's only good for looking at chicks as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. But, I actually use Twitter more than Facebook now, but I do use it. So, yeah. Anyway, so everybody and their mother is doing. So, by the way, I want to do, well, before I say that, a big shout out to my great friend Doomcock, who was so nice and nice enough to have me on his show last night for the Pop Culture Breakdown. I love you, DC. Thank you so much. I was honored to be there. I'm always honored to be there. He is a great friend. He is a mega star on YouTube and doesn't need a little old thing like me on there, but he does because he's a pal. And so I appreciate the great Doomcock having me on last night. I forgot to give that shout out before. I love you, DC, and I appreciate you for that, man. And and it was a great panel of great friends there as well. And what an amazing chat they had in there last night. So thank you to the great Lord, future ruler of Earth, Lord Doomcock. You are the man, brother. And about over 5.5 hours in, I finally had to bail because I had to get out of there because I had to get out of this chair. Oh boy, this chair was killing me, and I was pretty messed up. I didn't want to tell him that. I didn't want him to worry, but I was, but he knows he's been having physical problems too lately and stuff like that. And I hope he's feeling better. Love you, DC. But yeah, but it was it's always fun hanging up those guys. They're great guys. PJ from Marvel Nation was there. He's a great dude. But buddy Tom, Midnight's Edge, Tom, Kelvington, of course, is his producer. He's a very nice man as well. Douglas Nelson, Gary Ambrosio is a really cool dude. So, he gets a Cameron Pasha was there. So he gets a great group there. And it's just amazing. And he gets a great audience. So, but my point basically is everyone and their mother is covering Eternals and its problems at the box office and all that kind of stuff. So I just again, I listen to that stuff. I'm interested in that stuff. Hey, Sir John, good to see you. But as far as reporting on it, there's no point. They're all doing it. They're all doing it very well. I mean, Toxic Femininity. You got beautiful women talking about it as we speak out there on the YouTubers. So. It's fine. And, of course, Doomcock handles it well. Valiant Renegade was there, too, by the way. I didn't mean to leave out my buddy VR. He's a great guy. Mexican Iron Man, another great pal. I always forget who else is on there. Also great friends. And they do such a wonderful job of breaking that stuff down. Channels like me don't need to bother with it. So I don't. I review the content. I talk about we talked about the actual film. Also, the night before we talked about Eternals, or the 2 nights before, we reviewed the Jack Kirby comic book, the only real Eternals that there is. Which segues me into talking about some recommendations and things like that. Again, if you have not read Kirby's Eternals, let me tell you, and we gave it a thorough review the other night, so I'm not going to go over it all again. What I'm going to basically say is it had been 40 years since I touched the comic. Hey, Ironcaster, we'll talk about Howard the Duck on the Global Geek Gang one of these days. Lemuria was robbed. Oh, yeah. Hello there, Oliver Belamonte. One quick note about the Global Geek Gang, by the way, before I forget. In a couple of weeks, of course, is the anniversary of Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who, even though I hate, of course, what's being done to it right now. I hate everything about the Chibi era. I've really hated most of what's been done since the 50th anniversary. But that's neither here nor there. On the Global Geek Gang, the week before the anniversary, we're going to have a Doctor Who roundtable. And we are going to celebrate the Doctor Who that we love. Yes, we beat up, and deservedly so, we beat up on the modern garbage. And, by the way, it's cool to be critical about anything, but this is going to be one where we're going to talk about the Doctor Who that we love, and everyone's going to come to the table, whatever your favorite episodes are, which doctors you love the most, all that kind of basic stuff, because we haven't really been able to just celebrate the Doctor Who that we love. And it will be I'm also going to do my top 25 all-time favorite Doctor Who episodes the week before that, probably on that Wednesday night before it. So, is my sound cutting out? I don't know. Let me know, someone. Hungry Boy, let's see. Is Clobby's sound cutting in and out? I don't know. But if it is, please let me know, everyone, because I have no idea. Could be a StreamYards thing, or it could be me moving around. So if you want to throw me a sound check out there, brothers and sisters, we don't have any sisters here yet, but please do. Because I don't know. I think I'm talking close enough to the microphone. Perhaps I'm talking too close to it. I didn't know. Oh, my God. Oh, Brigadier, I think our past is catching up with us. Or maybe it's our future. Come on, run. Oh, dear. We could be playing the game of Rassilon at this very moment. Your tone doesn't inspire much confidence, Doctor. I take it we are not expected to win. I'm sorry I could quote the 5 Doctors all day. I love Doctor Who, and it's about time we just kind of look, it's very necessary that we're highly critical of what they have done to the show, but we're just going to celebrate the things we love about it on that glorious day. The Global Geek Gang shall gather. because I do love it. I do miss it. And I think I want to just get back and just watch some of the ones I love again, you know. Thank you, Hungry Boy. Thanks, D-Bud. Appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. As soon as you start anti-Jody or anti Chibi talk, the StreamYards doesn't like that sort. YouTube doesn't like it, I guess, either, right? So yes, so we'll do that in the upcoming months. We're going to talk a lot of Blake 7, of course, and different things. We're going to do a lot of. We're all, look. Hey, JPR PH1, thank you. Like I said, we beat the hell out of Eternals, and it deserved it. And I have no. And when we criticize something and tear it to pieces, hey, we're being honest. We won't hate something just to hate it. If we hate it, we hate it. But if we love it, we love it. And we're going to do that once in a while. We'll criticize something we think deserves it. But I do like, for the most part, I want this channel to celebrate what we love. We love superheroes. We love comics. We love, we love Doctor Who. We love real Star Trek, real Doctor Who, of course, real Star Wars, Blake 7, The Prisoner, all these wonderful things that I love. And that doesn't mean we're not going to tear the crap out of something when it deserves it sometimes. But we're also going to have a little fun, and it is more fun. So look, it's true. It's kind of fun to beat up on these things that when they do something that really destroys something that we love. There's a certain catharsis in really ripping it to shreds. I mean, who denies that? I mean, come on, can you really deny it? It is. When we get together in unison and say, that is horrible what they've done. But it's also fun when we debate things as well. Like, let's say something that's more debatable. I hate this episode, you love it, or vice versa. I hate this take on the character, you love it, or vice versa. Those are fun as well. And then it's also fun to go, just like we're going to talk about something that we really love and why we love it. We're going to do that too. You go all over the place. And Lee Anthony Davis says, my ultimate classic adventure is Genesis of Daleks. Brilliantly written by Terry Nation and fantastic moralizer of the story, and Baker is at its best. Lee Anthony Davis, of course, I totally agree with you. I love that episode, and it was the first episode of Doctor Who I ever saw. Around 1979 or 80, Starlog magazine was putting out these books, and I bought one called Science Fiction Heroes. And in that book, there was they talked about, of course, obviously most of the media related superheroes and science fiction heroes in TV and TV and movies largely. And there was an article about this strange show called Doctor Who with this weird looking dude. In this case, he had curly hair and a scarf thingy, and it was a black and white picture of him with these garbage cans with was it a toilet? Yeah, was it toilet plungers on them? And I was reading about it fast. What is Doctor Who? Look, I'm a bloody ugly American. I don't know what that is. A British show. Okay, I'm game. But anyway, it wasn't too long after that it started. It was already making its way around the States on BBS. Excuse me, PBS. Not BBS. PBS affiliates around the country. We didn't have it quite yet, but I had this really tiny little black and white TV. And I was trying to zoom in on these UHF channels, and I got one out of Mississippi, which was like a few hours away from me, but you could get those signals sometimes. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was probably part 2 or 3 of Genesis of the Daleks. And I watched as much. I watched almost the whole thing. I watched what I could. And I was just, wow, I want to see this show. And I didn't know how I was going to get to see it. It was 1980, 81. You couldn't just grab anything out of nowhere. You couldn't go down and rent something. You couldn't download something off the internet, which didn't exist. So, not too long after that, though, LPB, our affiliate, them, Steve, started running Doctor Who in segments, which the way I love it too, in the half-hour increments. In serialized form. This again, 81-ish, something up in there. Starting with Robot, Tom Baker's first episode, and of course fell in love with the show and have loved it ever since. I mean, it's almost around 40 years that I've loved this show. And I love Genesis of the Daleks. It's a great episode, for sure. Ironcaster says, one of the things I love in things I love in just jumping into the show with excellent writing. It makes me want to watch more and figure out the riddle of the show. I just love it. Again, and I fell in love with the show and became a Doctor Who fanatic. And back then, for those who don't know, and for our dear friends over across the pond who may not know this, because we know how huge it is. It's an institution for you all over there in the UK. And but in the States, when Tom Baker really made it just blow up here in the States in the 80s, early 80s on through into the 90s. And yes, there were other doctors, but Tom Baker is what made it popular. It was a phenomenon in the States. It was huge. I ran a comic shop. Before I got my own comic shop, I ran someone else's shop, and we just ordered tons and tons of Doctor Who memorabilia. We had Doctor Who fan clubs everywhere. There were Doctor Who cons everywhere. It was gigantic, and I bought everything I could get my hands on, all the Target novelizations. When I found out there were other doctors before Tom Baker, I couldn't believe it. But I couldn't wait. And, of course, you couldn't get the episodes, so we read the novelizations. They were called, quote-unquote, the publisher was called Target, although Pinnacle did some as well. I mean, for a while, Doctor Who was the episodes you could record off of TV and then the books. That's what they were here. We got the Doctor Who magazine. We got all the paraphernalia. So I'm a huge, huge fan. I can't get enough of real Doctor Who. And I even liked a lot of what RTD did when he brought it back in 2005 with reservations here and there. But I loved the show up until the 50th anniversary. And again, as much as I love Peter Capaldi, I don't like the way his Doctor was written. So personally, I've decided in my own personal headcanon, the Doctor, even though I didn't like Time of the Doctor that much, I just consider Time of the Doctor my closure for the character. Anything after that is some strange being that thinks that is called the Doctor, but doesn't really act like him. It's not for me personally. So, yeah, that's me. That's my history, my very brief Doctor Who origin, and I just love it. And local PBS was great though. That's how I got into Blake 7 through PBS, and Red Dwarf. Love Red Dwarf as well. You Brits, I know you love our Star Trek. You love a lot of our movies, and well, don't worry, it's mutual. We love a lot of your TV shows. I love The Avengers and The Prisoner. You guys got a Space 1999, UFO. You got Danger Mouse, which I love. I mean, you got a lot of great stuff. We love you, and you're our buddies. We love you. The reason why Tom Baker made the character work, he played as Tom Baker, not as the actor as actor Tom Baker. Yeah, Tom Baker was just magnificent. John Pertwee and David Tennant were my favorites. Genesis was great, though. Tom Baker and Patrick Troughton, hard to pick. Easier to say. Jodie Whittaker sucks. I almost said her name. That's a nasty rumor, Eric K. I don't know where that comes from. But I would recommend everyone, I'm back on Eternals a little bit, Kirby's Eternals, whether you're planning to see this wretched, rancid movie or not. I had been, like as I said, about 40 years since I've even touched this comic. And so it was never one of my favorite Kirby comics. I had regard for it because it was Kirby, but I didn't know that going back to read it would be such an amazing experience. But I thought right before the movie comes out, I thought I would deep dive on Kirby and review Kirby's because it deserved some love. It deserved the respect of me going back to it, good or bad, and reading it. And the other night, both Mark D with the C, as you can see here, and our buddy Nicholas, we reviewed Kirby's 19-issue and one annual run on Eternals. And I was blown away by it. Of course, again, remember last time I looked at it, I was a young adult. Now I'm, 40 years behind me. It's just I had a very different response to it. I didn't remember much before. Now, my criticisms notwithstanding, which were some of the problems with some of the dialogue, but Kirby's always been a little bit criticized on his dialogue. Hey, he's the king. I love Jack Kirby. The two greatest geek experiences of my life were meeting and spending time with Jack Kirby and his wonderful wife, Ross, but he can be criticized like anyone else can. His dialogue left some things to be desired here and there, but this comic is, in my opinion, some of his most magnificent artwork ever, and that's saying something because if you know how much I love Kirby. And some of the ideas and the stories and the ideas and the characters are extraordinary. This is a crazy ride. It's fantastic. And I cannot recognize it enough just for the visual feast alone. Read it within the premise of when it, within the prism of when it was released. Yes, do that. And as I said, and I went back and confirmed a lot of this because these were like, a lot of this were speculation because it had been so long. To jog my memory, I looked into it because, when I read this, I got the impression that Kirby never intended for his Eternals to be part of the Marvel Universe. If you go in cold and don't really look into it, it's just a gut feeling. By the way he wrote things, the way things went down in the comic, I was pretty much convinced that he did not want it to be a part of the Marvel Universe, and they kind of tried to force him to do so. Now things broke up with him and Marvel, and again the relationship kind of crumbled again, and it made it all. We only have 20 comics by Kirby of the Eternals. Again, 19 issues in an annual, great annual, by the way. Let me answer my buddy Lee Anthony Daniels. Let's see. Davis Anthony Daniels. Listen to me. Sorry, Lee. Lee Anthony Davis. Clobberin Times. Who was your favorite Blake 7 character, and what was your opinion on the way they ended the show in 1981? Interesting that you asked that, Lee. I hate to go along with the crowd, but Avon is not only my favorite character, he's like my top 2 or 3 all-time favorite characters on television in the history of TV. I could go on and have many times go on for hours and hours about Avon. Avon lives. He's one of the greatest comic books. I got comic books on the brain. Sorry. He's one of the greatest TV characters ever conceived of, in my opinion, and ever played, and played so brilliantly by the magnificent Paul Darrow. I love Avon the most. I love them all, but I love Avon the most. And I actually do love the way the show ended, Lee. Now, again, it was a good number of years. It was looking late 80s when I finally got to see the show. So unlike those of you who may have been over there across the pond at the time, being able to view it in real time, building up to that fervor probably, because I understand that last episode, which was entitled Blake, was huge. Like the last episode of MASH or the last episode of The Fugitive over here. I love that. It's in a way that crazy, insane, messed up last episode, and I won't spoiler this for anyone, so no spoilers because some people haven't seen Blake 7 yet. I'll simply say this: as crazy as it may sound to those who have seen the last episode of Blake 7, which is entitled Blake, I'm very similar to the way I feel about the last episode of The Prisoner, which was called Fallout, which I love. I love Blake, the episode. I love the character too, of course. So I actually love the way it ended. I know it's crazy. But somehow for some reason, it just works for me. Even though I would rather have seen the series continue than have that ending, Lee, I still love the way it ended. Again, if you have to end something, at least end it well. I would prefer them in more seasons. Don't get me wrong. But the Prisoner needed to end because it was supposed to. Blake 7 just ends, and it definitely should have been more. I wish it had been 3 or more, at least 2 or 3 more seasons. It would have been nice, and I would have been all over that. Hello, Sherry. Hello again. Beautiful Sherry is here, everyone. We finally have a lady hanging out with us tonight. It is so good to see you. Lovely, lovely. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Yes, Hungry Boy. Like I said, I'm not spoiling anyone who have not seen, because if you have not been spoilered on it yet and you do plan to watch Blake 7 at some point, you need to see that last episode to believe it. But I loved it. Without doing spoilerly, Lee, that's my really long, short answer to that. So this is the first recommendation of the night, because we've been talking so much about Eternals, the movie, of course, and then the comic the other night. I recommend Kirby's Eternals. If you just want a visual feast, and if you want, the concepts though are what will blow you away. The art will blow you away the most, but the concepts are they're on equal footing to the art, because so many of them are just so crazy, because Kirby was he was easily the most creative force the most powerful creative force in terms of creations, art-wise, and creating characters and ideas in the history of comics for sure, and of the 20th century. Hey there, PJ, Orville Nation. Great to see you, my friend. Everyone, if you have not yet, and everyone here probably has, but you never know, PJ. If you have not yet, please go subscribe to Orville Nation. It's one of the great channels, and PJ is an amazing guy, and it was great hanging out with you last night there, PJ, with Doomcock. I'd mentioned it earlier. It was a lot of fun. And, man, I tell you what, I need me some Orville back. I've been craving it. And you know what I've done, PJ, because I don't know how many times you've watched it. Obviously, I wish they'd do a Blu-ray, but I bought the DVDs. After initially, when those Orville first came on those other times, I watched them over and over again. And I watched the first 2 seasons a good bit. But now I've gone years without seeing them because I kept thinking we were going to get the 3rd season much quicker than we obviously are. And now I'm holding it back going, all right, I'm going to hold it back a little bit because I know eventually we're going to get a 3rd season and I can just binge them all. But man, it's killing me. I want to binge them right now. I just break it down and just watch the Orville all over again now. And then when it comes back in March and do it again then. I mean, I'm not craving it that much. I've been buying some of the comic books. So, yeah. But anyway, there's we were talking about comics tonight. If any of you are Orville fans, the Dark Horse comic that I've read, I haven't read the past 2 or 3. I need to grab them. But the first few ones I read were pretty good. But you can never watch too much Orville. It's a godsend, in a time when Star Trek is dead, when we're never going to get any real Star Trek again that has the word Star Trek on it. Say what you want about Seth MacFarlane, and I never was that much of a fan of some of his other stuff, but I'm a fan of him now. And he really did give us the spirit of Star Trek back, and I'll always be in his debt because we're not going to get real Trek ever again. Anything after 05 is filth. You know my rule around here. But the Orville is Trek, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And if we only get that 1 season, damn it, that would be a shame. But hey, what are you going to do? You take it. You run with it, right? And that's what I'll do. And I can't wait for that. Water. So this would be the biggest recommendation I have now because of what's going on. Instead of watching that crappy movie, not that any of you are going to go see Eternals, it's about to start fizzing out big time. And then next week, Ghostbusters will send it on its little merry way. But read Kirby's Eternals if you want something to read. Now the original issues of these are outrageous. As I've said before, I used to get these in the quarter bins at cons, at comic shops. You find them in the quarter bins. Of course, quarter boxes became dollar boxes, but still, dollar boxes, what have you. I think I don't have mine anymore. I sold them, I believe, but the J-Man has his Ghostbusters tickets. Yeah, let's hope. Keep hope alive. You never know. I mean, I'm not letting myself be optimistic, but I'm going. I'll keep the optimism way down, but I'm going. So that's a little bit of optimism. I'll be there first night. So, because we talk about comic book collecting here a lot. May I make some indie comics? Yeah. Hey, Hungry Boy, make any recommendation you want. In a second, I'm going to get you all to throw any recommendations you might have, because I do my recommendations enough, and I'm going to do some. But if you got one out there, it doesn't matter if it's indie or who it's by, and or it can be a comic I think is the worst comic ever made. Screw it. If you like it, you throw it out there, and I will talk about it, and I'll put it up there. But yeah, man, you got it. Please go for it. So, key collectors have ruined the hobby of comic book collecting. They've destroyed it. This stupid movie coming out. If this stupid movie had not been announced and never was coming out, you'd still be finding Eternals popping up. Not in quarter bins. You don't have those anymore. In dollar bins, or at least $2-3 a pop for the early issues. Now they're out. They're stupid money. Jamin says, I almost got the entire Eternals run yesterday by the guy. Got $400 for it. I got him down to $350, which is still too much, dude. Just give it a couple of years. But then I passed. Sean got the entire run for $70 4 years ago, and that's high. 70 is high, but it's at least, I mean, it never should even be that much. You know the print runs on those comics back then when the Eternals came out, brother? Still, 70 is manageable. I can respect 70. But J-Man, I appreciate you passing on that. That's crazy. You give it time, buddy. In the meantime, to read the comic, you can still get it trades and omnibus and all that stuff. And yes, I'm one of those that does not mind digital. Digital gets shit on by a lot of people. You can download this one on digital for $20. There are 20 comics. It's $20. It's it's a compilation of the whole run. There's also a couple of split up trades that you can get as well. And I love digital because my eyesight sucks. And, I still like to have I use Comicology. I mean, I still want to have the physical copies, but Comicology is easy as well. And it's fun blowing up the big panels and stuff. In fact, because I was talking a lot about it, J-Man, and we were talking to Sean about that, your buddy Sean, hails Sean, by the way. I went ahead and downloaded because it has some pretty good prices on some other. The only other Eternals comics I'm going to read other than Kirby are the Thor, Kirby's, the Thor, not Kirby, the Thor Eternals Celestial Saga, which is a trade paperback that I downloaded. It was only like $7, and then the mid '80s run by Peter Gillis and Sal Buscema, which was a 12-issue miniseries, that was $7. So I downloaded those. I'm going to read those and review those. Stack them up against Kirby. One of the things I was talking about earlier was how Kirby, I went back and I researched this a little bit more. J-Man, Kirby did not want the Eternals in the Marvel Universe, which is why he did what he did with the Hulk. David Rayborn, what's up, cuz? Good to see you, buddy. And so after he left, not too long after it, in the Thor comic, Roy Thomas and a few other writers brought the Eternals, into the Marvel Universe, which they always seem kind of ill-fitting for that. Nevertheless, what you gonna do? Having a bit of better problem there. All right, sorry. I was trying to share something on a technical issue. Pardon the pun here. It'll fix itself eventually, I guess. What the hell? Or what? So anyway, I got those, and I'm gonna take a look at those and contrast them with Kirby. But they're the only thing I'm gonna even remotely legitimize in terms of non-Kirby. Yes, I will. I will definitely let you know, J-Man. And by the way, J-Man, man, you picked up those DC Comics Presents, man. That's some big dropping some big bucks on those, brother. But I certainly understand it, man. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Hungry Boy says, cool beans, thanks. Early Staten was great, and his original E-Man series was wacky but professional, with a hero with a cute girlfriend and good inking. Yeah, he did an E-Man series before that, and then he later did it for First Comics, right? Yes, those Eternals comics will tank, no question about it. No question about it. Tank gonna last long. Let's see here. Hungry Boy, did you say you have some other recommendations? Okay. For sci-fi fans, Pat Broderick did a fun series for Pacific called Sunrunners. I bought that. I remember that. Which had a distinct Farscape Babylon 5 feel, though it was made in the 80s. I do remember that comic. Absolutely. For the weirdest comic experiences, Hungry Boy says, a Frenchy comic trade paperback called Delirious featuring a Lone Sloan by a guy called Drulier. Drulier, okay. I wonder if I said that correctly. I probably did not. Whoa! I dropped $500 on it. Yes, my wife knows. Well, if she didn't, your secret would be safe with me, buddy. Yep, E-Man was fun. Wasn't E-Man was Charlton first, and then it was okay. Yep, there you go, right there. Charlton first. Yeah, that's right. You were correct. Oliver says, Clobby, if Eternals director Chloe Zhao read Kirby's Eternals and added this comic essence, would the film turned out different, or would the result be the same? Well, I tell you what, it would have definitely had a much more nice. If you're talking simply on a superficial level, it would have looked and felt a lot better, Oliver. But if she continued with her same story, I think it might have made it almost worse because I'm like, wow, it looks good or looks better than because it looked terrible. This movie's a terrible looking film, but it looked. If it had a lot of Kirby look to it. Well, if it were, let's just take, for example, Thor Ragnarok. There's some nice Kirby nods in there, but people go a little overboard saying, oh, it's so Kirby. Yeah, in some ways, yeah. The movie has a lot of things that aggravate me, but it's still, it's a pretty entertaining film. So I think it just would have made a lot of us who love Kirby go, wow, that looked pretty good. Wow, that looked pretty good. But on the whole, it still would have been hollow, in my opinion, Oliver, with that terrible, terrible story. David, well, again, did not belong. Well, no, but put it this way: Kirby didn't really want him in there, but they put him in there anyway. In the comics, I mean. And so, much like that, probably wasn't a good idea to put him in the movie universe. But you know how that goes. But Zhao completely, she ignored all the Kirby stuff, and like you said, substituted for things that did not make any damn sense at all. Not in the least. And it's just the damn same. What happened to my... What is wrong with you people? Sorry, I was trying to show a picture and something got messed up. Let me find it. Sorry, everyone. I got to vamp here in a second. Oh, gee. All right, let's see here. What is wrong with you people? All right, there we go. Now, well, they're really pushing the Eternal stuff. Well, don't be a jerk off. Okay. Why are you doing this to me? Let me try to log back into this thing. Sorry, everyone. I was having a bit of a snafu here. I hate you. I have to do it later. Sorry. Jesus. Oh, my God. Sorry, when I was having a bit of a problem with my comicology, I was trying to pull up some stuff. Horrible Nation. You shouldn't have, sir. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You are too kind, my friend. Let's see. Shameless plug, Clobby, for a new YouTuber. Give Gap Stargate a sub, guys. Support the independent creators. Thanks. Okay. If we can get, I'll try to get the link. And everyone is called. Now, do we just search Gap Stargate, PJ? And you could have had me, dude. I would have put that up there. You didn't have to super chat it, brother. But I do appreciate it very much, my friend. Thank you. And everyone, if you have not, I don't have a link right now. I will try to get one to keep it in my description below for further reference. But in the meantime, if you all would please do me a favor and go to Gap Stargate and give them a sub. I would appreciate that, and I know my buddy PJ would as well. And I'll try to get that so I can copy and have it for later. PJ, thank you so much. Let's see. I love the Orville, and we were talking about that last night, PJ. You were talking about Stargate. Much like Doomcock, I have not watched much Stargate. I never was big on the movie. And then I've watched a couple episodes of the show recently and been meaning to watch more. You know, they just put Stargate on Netflix, all 10 seasons of the SG-1. So I'm about to go kind of deep dive back on that and start watching that more because it has a huge fan base. Many people that I know and love dearly really love it. And so I hope I can watch it and you know, have the same love they can, because if you can watch that show and fall in love with it, then you're in a lot of luck because you have 10 seasons. You have a lot of stuff to watch. And I'm not saying it's all great. I wouldn't know. All right, Jay, man, take it easy, brother. Appreciate you, bud. Okay, thank you, John. I appreciate you for subbing, man. So, yes, if you are a Stargate fan, you got a lot of stuff there to watch. You got a lot, 17 seasons total between all the shows. That's amazing. And I'm sure fans don't like every single thing there is, but still there's a lot to pick and choose from, and you got a lot of content there. So if you go and you do get into it, then, you know, that's pretty amazing. And I plan to start diving into it this week, actually, because you guys, just listening to you guys talk about it last night on Doomcock's show, or Orville Nation, PJ, makes me want to go look at it again. About a month or maybe a year ago, I can't remember what it was. Not a month, a year ago. I went back and watched the first couple of episodes, and I meant to watch more. That was when they were on Amazon. I guess they're still there. Amazon's kind of a pain in the ass for me, but now they're on Netflix, and as annoying as Netflix can be, they're easy to watch as far as the way that they're set up and everything. So there you go. You like the movie with Kurt Russell, says Dave. You know, Dave, I'm a Kurt Russell fan. And I did not like that movie at all. When I first saw it, I was very upset. I thought I was really, really disappointed in it. And when they showed, and that's going to be the problem of anyone. It's sort of like when they make a movie of something, you just kind of about it, and then they make a series, and everyone falls in love with it. But you were like, I don't want to watch that. I didn't like the movie much. And that's happened to a lot of people. But then the people who give it a shot, or the people who were a fan of the movie, for example, and love the show, they have a huge and a fantastic fan base of Stargate. Because, you know, and I've been so many cons where people cosplay the characters and stuff. I've seen so many of the actors from the show. And it's just one of those things, no matter what you're into, there's always going to be something that slips through the crack for you. For example, Gary and Az, who I love those guys, they never watched Babylon 5 until people talked them into it last year. Well, I've been a Babylon 5 fan since it first hit the air. You know, I've loved Star Trek forever and all this kind of stuff, but some things just get past you. I don't think you can't be a fan of everything, which, again, that's pretty. I envy anyone who's getting to watch Babylon 5 for the first time. It sort of happened with me with some of the other Star Trek iterations, in that I was always original series gung-ho, and I watched the Next Generation and was critical of it more than I liked it. I like it better now. Don't get me wrong. We're reviewing it now. But then after that, when I watched Deep Space Nine sparingly and wasn't that big into it, now I've watched it. You know, many years later, I've watched it. I love it. I've watched it so much. Love it. Never was the biggest Voyager guy. It never really grabbed me that much, but I have watched it and can watch it. I'm one of those weirdos that loves Enterprise when a lot of people don't. I'm that weirdo. I actually love Enterprise, and I have a lot of criticisms of it, but I do love it. So it's just weird that way. It's just weird, but I'd never watched Farscape until a couple of years ago. About a year or two ago. And I had all these friends who'd watched Stargate. And they'd be like, not Stargate, excuse me, Farscape. Who watched Farscape. And I'd be like, eh. Oh, Orville Nation, yes. In fact, Raquel and I have done a show before we started reviewing Trek last year. We did one of our first shows we did was in defense of Enterprise. And we took it to people who don't love Enterprise. We took it, you know, I don't mind, you know, like, by the way, it's just always treated so poorly by a lot of Trek fans. If you want to beat up on something, beat up on fake Trek, for God's sake. But I love Enterprise. I don't care who knows it. Doesn't mean you can't criticize it. You can criticize anything. Glad to hear that, PJ, though. We definitely got to talk, man. But I'd never watched Farscape. Again, prejudices. Look, yeah, no one's above that human failing. And I just saw puppets. Buddies of mine said, screw the puppets. You need to watch it. All right. Then you get into the late 2000 teens and you realize most stuff is crap. And you're watching stuff over and over again. I'm old. I'm the old man sitting on the porch. So there are times when I go, I don't really want to try anything new. I'm bad about that. I'm the first to admit it. But not even new. Like if I haven't watched it, I don't want to start on something. But I just sitting around one day and there was Farscape. Like, I don't know, man. But I watched it and I watched the whole series and really enjoyed it. Do I love it like Trek or anything like that? No, but I really liked it. Thought it was really good. And I've decided to do the same thing with Stargate. I got sidetracked and all that stuff and had to stop thinking about it. Last night on Doomcock's show when PJ and the others were all talking about it, and Doomcock hadn't watched it much either, it got me interested in going, oh yeah. And then today I'm just messing around with Netflix and there it is. It's on there again all of a sudden. Cal says, I liked Enterprise for the most part, but that intro song leaves a lot to be desired. It just didn't sound good. That sounded like a good fit for a Star Trek show. Well, that got on a lot of people's nerves there, Kal-El. And, I understand that. It took a lot of I got used to it. Now, again, it doesn't really belong there. It was not a good decision. They should have used Archer's theme, which is not only in the soundtrack, it's what they use for the end credits of every episode. Archer's theme is more of a Star Trek type theme, and it fits those beautiful opening credits visually. I mean, those beautiful visual open credits. So I'm with you. I hear you. I think they should have definitely not used that song, but now I'm used to it. Doesn't bother me anymore. I know it bothers a lot of people, but yeah. But I do love it. I love Archer. I love the crew. I even look. I'll tell you, I'm so weird. I even love the first two seasons. A lot of people say the common refrain is, "Well, Enterprise got better. I kind of liked it in that third, and even really that fourth season," which is again perfectly reasonable, fine way to be. But I actually liked a lot of the first and second season. I liked the clunkiness of them just spewing themselves out into space at Warp 5, even though it was sort of a contradiction to continuity, and them feeling themselves away. I like the fact that they were the first people out there. Kirk and Picard and Cisco and those people, they had a couple hundred years in the case of Kirk, 200 in the case of the other guys of Starfleet history and captains to study. Archer had nothing to study. He had no guidebook. I like that. And that's kind of an interesting element to the show for me. Clobby might clobber me for this, but I really enjoyed the DC version of The Shadow until Baker took over from Sienkiewicz. I didn't mind that too much, actually. Hungry Boy, I just didn't like the Chaykin Shadow, man. And I got to get my buddy Captain Mira Cockney Spock to come on one day because he loves the Chaykin stuff and he loves a lot of the independent comics. We're going to do a show where we talk some independent comics soon. Now, again, David Raymond, look, Kirk is the greatest captain who ever lived, bar none. It's not even close. But I really do like Archer a lot. I think Archer was the closest to Kirk type outside of Cisco, really, because he would definitely, if ass had to be kicked, Archer would do it. That said, he had his own personality as well. I love Archer because he had a dog. That's kind of a fun aspect to his personality. And since we're talking about comics tonight, isn't it crazy that there are almost no Enterprise comics? Well, the past couple of weeks on Clobby's Clubhouse on Thursday nights, Mark and I have been, sort of tutoring Raquel about, Star Trek comics. About a year ago, I did a show about the history of Star Trek comics. And we've been talking, she got a big gift from her wonderful daughter, a bunch of comic books. And so we've been telling her about the comic books that she has, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. She's just really excited about that. But so we've been thinking a lot about Star Trek comic books of late. Yeah, I love Porthos. And it always aggravated me that they didn't know no Enterprise comics. Almost none. Like there was maybe one by ADW a couple years back. One. Never during the series or anything. But no Archer comics. I mean, Archer, for me. Enterprise Comics. But yeah, Archer was kind of out there just writing that damn thing. Yeah, absolutely. He was writing the guidebook. You're right. That's right, man. Yeah, I love Porthos. I want a doggy like Porthos. And as Tripp said, even Porthos has a name. Needless to say, I've watched those episodes quite a few times over and over again. And Raquel and I even picked our favorites. It's just like my boy Doomcock hates Enterprise or he doesn't like it. Some of his criticism, we haven't had a chance to talk about it a lot, but I actually agree with some of his criticisms. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I can agree with the criticism and still like something, Yeah, and there's the thing about that, PJ. Even more Orville comics are coming. I have the first few. Now then there's a trade. Now they're coming out so fast, and my stupid comic shop doesn't carry them. I'm going to have to go and order them now. Because it's, I don't know. But the first few that I did read were pretty good. For the story and for the characterization. See, the art was interesting. It was good on these Orville comics. But like most modern comics, you can tell it's done on computers. I mean, I have sort of this natural aversion. Hello there. Hello again, the Richard. A natural aversion to comics that are done in a sterile format, done on computer. Hungry Boy is, of course, a great comic book artist in his own right, and he knows what I'm talking about. He did this wonderful work right here. The Clobberin. Shout out to Hungry One's great art. But, for something like the Orville, I don't mind because I buy that for something that looks. I want for the story, and I want something that makes me feel like the TV show. I don't know if they're even if they're in conjunction. I'd be interested in finding out. Maybe PJ. Does Dark Horse communicate with Seth MacFarlane or those people about what they do for the comic book? I'd be interested in knowing that. George Lucas did it with Roy Thomas and Marvel Comics, of course, and the Paramount didn't do it as much with whoever held the license to do their Star Trek comics. They didn't talk much at all. They didn't care that much. Of course, Lucas lied to Marvel a lot, but So I was wondering if I'm wondering if Seth talks to Dark Horse about those comics. Anyway, Oliver says, Clobby, as a Star Trek fan with Raquel, which was the most difficult decision for a commander or captain? Intervening in historical events are blowing up the ship to not fall into enemy hands. I would say that, believe it or not, probably the intervening in the historical events, because if you do that, you change all of history and stuff, and that's a no-no, and you get in trouble with temporal investigations. I'd say that much. Guess who is here, folks? We have a good buddy has popped in. What's up there, Mr. Mark D?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yep. What's up, bro? Sorry to bother you, man, but
no, not bother. I just had some work to do. I was just wondering I thought maybe you were still on Doomcock's show, but just wanted to check.
We're still running, by the way. Doomcock's show is now up to because we've done 24 hours. We were teasing Doomcock. I don't know. Hey, Orville, PJ, how long did Doomcock go after that damn show?
How long did it go? Yep.
See, that's what. So sorry I couldn't make it, man. But
no. It's
anyway.
I was listening to the show too. I do my Sunday night show, and I know I'm on with Doomcock, but I'm like, well, gotta listen to Doomcock, then I gotta end at 11. But it's a great show too. So it's sometimes I go back and listen after, but when it's a 8-hour show or something, that makes it a little bit tougher to do.
6.5.
So what do you do? 6.5? Yeah.
6.5. Damn, PJ.
That's amazing.
The PJ says, that's what I was. I'm glad. Thank you, PJ, for that, by the way. Yes, he says, yeah, totally. David A. Goodman of the Orville production staff is writing the stories for Dark Horse. I was wondering, basically, they're soft canon. He says, okay, well, that makes sense. I was just curious because some of them, obviously, they can't do something in a comic if he's planning to do it on the show that much. So I get it. So, yeah. And John says you had a great stream last night. Sorry, I missed it, man.
Oh no, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks everyone. We always have a fun time hanging out and just geeking out, as I say. And once in a while we nerd out too. But yeah, no, it's all a lot of fun, and it's like something I look forward to too. So it's a nice way to end the week and then get ready for the next week, right? So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And well, we did do didn't we do 4.5 hours one time? I think we were covering Comic-Con. I think I kept
We
you
did we
guys for
did
four.
that. Our not the last Clobby's Clubhouse with you and Raquel, but the one before that we did about over 4. We did
Yeah.
about a 4-hour one. I've done into the close to the 5-hour range once, maybe on the Global Geek Gang or something like something crazy, like yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm just curious. Like I say that, hey man, look, I'm because he's at the center of the earth. He has the technology, but some of us don't. So how you could sit there and just sit there for that long, if you know what I'm saying, folks?
Oh yeah, that's
That proves that Doomcock is, of course, the future ruler of Earth, and he is, like I told him last night, he is actually a celestial, and I don't mean like the ones in the stupid movie either.
yeah. And
Yeah,
Steve Mitchell's paying me that nice compliment to the Mister Rogers of the live stream. But that's a compliment, folks. So like the great Mister Rogers. I appreciate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you proud of me or what
Sure. Yeah.
for this? And I did it. I mean, it was all see. I mean, I actually was able to edit it and put
Yeah.
it on
No. Yeah.
and
Because you didn't
convert it.
ask.
No,
Yeah, I was waiting for you to ask for more help
I
how to
did,
do that,
but you guys are busy, so I want to say, let me try to do it. Like a
and you
couple
got
times
it
I
done.
mentioned it, but and I figured, I'll probably forget how to do it.
Well, we told you, use Windows Movie Maker. We
I use
that's what.
that.
Yeah, we laid the groundwork for you, and you figured it out. Yep.
No, it only took like a week.
Yeah, but then once you know how to do it, that's the thing. Like I'm always helping. I do a lot of computer consulting or help.
Yeah, it didn't
You
come
know,
out perfect,
cons-
but
and it's you try to do like a share screen and like show people. So it's of course I'm always helping my mom. Of course she's 80, so I can't pick on her for not knowing how to use a computer. But it's like how do I print a PDF? And you're trying to show her how to print a PDF, but
yeah,
and then she forgets, and of course but of course I'll be bugging my kids about how to use the holodeck probably in 40 years, hopefully, right? How do I
yes, you
reset
will.
the holodeck to be in the original series again? Yep.
The world will never know. Mm. Oh, shit. Well, I was trying to pull up to show some stuff on my Comicology logs you out. I hate that crap. It's so annoying.
Now you got to get back in. Yep.
Trying to get back in. I don't know if I can. I always forget
Steve
about it.
Mitchum is saying Da Vinci. I think he meant to say Da Vinci, but maybe Da Vinci Resolve is a free high-end editing package, I guess, for video. So that might be a good tip for people to check out.
Yeah. Wait. What? What? What did he say?
Like a free, instead of using Movie Maker, he's saying Da Vinci. What's it called? Da Vinci Resolve. Well, Steve, you're a wrench, so you could put the link in if you could put the link in. That's always a good tip for us YouTubers to find things to do. Yep. Hungry Boy's saying, yeah, Windows Movie Maker. I finally remember you. Yeah, because they started taking that off of new PCs, but it's like such an easy program to use. So,
Well, mine's old, so
yeah,
guess that's
that's
why it's
the
on there.
advantage. Yep. they pull things off that work, right?
Yep. I guess that's why it's on there. Oh well. You knew. Well, there you go. I was recommending some comics, and what's wrong with you? I can't get in. I
Trying to
can't get
show
in.
can't get in
Oh
Comicology.
no, I could. It was in there. Now it's going. Oh, sucks. Screw you.
What comic were you trying to show?
Uh, I'm too aggravated to worry about it right now. I'm not new to
Because I have the
Comicology
internal.
chaos.
I have the Eternals on mine. If you're trying to show something from, you're trying to show something different, or
No, I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm trying to find. Maybe I have a new. Maybe they gave me a new password or something. All right. You. What? All right. All right. I'm sorry, everyone. I had something to show, and this thing was working fine. I
Well, here,
hate you.
why don't I
But I
show
kind of I
something?
need to be doing. Yeah, you do something right now. I got to.
Well, I'll show something
Oh,
that showed up in the mail. Got beamed into my.
okay. Oh my God, I'm gonna be. Why are you doing this?
Violating the action figure moratorium again.
All right, hang on. Let me get this up there.
Yeah.
We have show and tell, folks. While I'm trying to fix
Well,
this
this will.
stupid
Yeah,
thing.
we fixed that. Yep.
Oh
So,
man, damn it! I have that one. I finally get to say I have that.
yeah.
I always like it when I get to say I have that one. You know, well, I have a lot of. You think that Enterprise is the only big toys, the only thing I have more than you of?
Yes, because I never bought these when I went out. I didn't like Enterprise that much when it first came out, and I regretted not. Now I regret not buying all these when they're on clearance for like $5 at the comic book store. So I figured T'Pol is my first. I maybe have a couple of these figures somewhere going through the attic, but I don't think I had T'Pol. So I might have had a couple of them. But yeah, it's a great figure. And what's messed up about the Enterprise figure set is they they started with the set, and then they started doing the away team set. So some of I can't remember exactly which ones, but some of the figures only have like away team, in spacesuit uniforms, and they don't have the standard uniform. So it's kind of a crazy. But the figures are beautiful though. It's nice, It's Art Asylum. They're really nice figures. I don't have my separate camera set up, but yeah, T'Pol. It's a kind of a crazy pose in there, but the figures are pretty detailed, and it's tough to see. But they do have. She's got a communicator on here. You can change your hands, depending. So you've got the Vulcan salute. Sorry about the glare, guys. It's always the case with this, but yeah, there's that communicator, and then so that's the Vulcan salute there.
Love
and
it.
on the other side,
She still got it in the box. What is
she's
wrong
got
with
the
you?
hand.
Max
I just got
Redstone,
this
what's
from.
up, buddy? Oh, you just got it. Never mind.
I just got it from eBay. So should I take her out of the box? Should I release her?
What do you all think? Take it out of the box? Well, remember we talked about these figures before. Those who don't know, remember when these came out, they didn't put Trip. Look at Trip. Trip is only in the damn spacesuit.
The spacesuit, yeah.
But there was a Wizard exclusive that you could order Trip in the normal uniform, which I have.
Oh, you got that? That's the toughest one to get.
Is that the toughest one? I have that one.
Yeah.
I have almost the whole bridge, because they did a piece of the bridge where they had these figures with a piece of with a character with a piece of the bridge, but they didn't do Travis. They don't have they never did the helm, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one?
Well, you know what they did?
Yes,
someone 3D. Did I show you the
that.
3D printer? Yeah, the 3D
we should
print.
Show that.
Yeah, I'll find that and I'll show that. Yeah,
Those
so someone 3D
a-holes
printed
didn't finish it. McFarlane, or was it Toy Asylum?
It says Art Asylum, but it looks like it's
Art Asylum.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
wasn't that his or no?
Licensed by McFarlane. It probably looks like a McFarlane figure to me. But,
no, don't leave it in the box. Leaving toys in the box is sinful.
Yeah. But they had these all for sale, but Enterprise didn't do that well, unfortunately. And I grew to like it a lot better on the rewatch I just did last year, and I'd watched them off and on a little bit, but that third series or the third season, I've said, is a lot better when you stream it all together. And then there's some really good episodes that are kind of separate from that storyline that were really good too on that third season. So
I love the first two seasons. I love them. I love them.
No, but I'm saying people usually knock that third season, but I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was wasn't as bad as I remember people saying. So,
right.
Of course, it's got Captain Cockney's Spock's favorite theme, time travel. So,
is he here? Is he here?
No, I'm just, or maybe he is. I don't know if he's here, but the time travel.
We have to have a talk with that boy about some time travel. He loves his time travel, not.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you want to show?
Yeah, let me find that. Let me do a Google search.
Even though we were here to talk about comics tonight, you can show later. Well, while we're waiting on that, I found it. I got what I need here. So let's see.
Cool.
I got the thing back up. Matthew Pounder, what's up, buddy? So what I decided to do was, again, we talked about how even though after I wanted to read, I just got in the mood to read more about the Eternals. And, even though I've already read Kirby's, right after that, at least they brought him back in Thor. Roy Thomas and Mark Grunwald and Rob Macchio, a couple of those guys. And, Simonson did this one, did some of them, Buscema. So it was pretty interesting. I decided to reread these and then read I'm only going to read Bronze Age, though. And, of course, I did some stuff in What If. This is when, because of Eternals, they retconned Thanos into a half deviant or whatever, right?
Yep.
If you remember. Agreed. Kirby inked by Royer. Great stuff. Mike Royer was great because he didn't mess anybody. He didn't mess him up. So anyway, all of a sudden, there they are in the Marvel Universe. Let's see where we're at. Are you opening it?
Yeah, I'm finding the figure thing first, but yeah, let's see. I'm seeing Celestial Saga.
Yeah, it went on in Thor. We'll look, for example, let's see. It went on in Thor from issue. They did a little trade of this Thor Celestial Saga for over a year or something. As you can see, all these Thor issues. And this was years before Walt Simonson took over Thor, did this cover and did the interior. This cover looks pure Simonson, though. That's nice. The interior, however, when I show you the interior, inked, but yeah. And this was
not so good.
Well, it got overpowered by Ernie Chan. But I love this cover.
That's very cool, yeah.
This is the two Thunder Gods, basically. Norse Thunder God versus Inca Thunder God. That's what I'm saying. Eternals kind of don't fit into the Marvel Universe. It's strange, but, Roy Thomas decided to do it, right? So you look at this, and this is a great Simonson cover. This is 3 or 4 years, 3 years or whatever before he took over the comic in Thor 337. Annual, only 60 cents, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, there you go. That's him inked. Arnie Chan really overpowered Walt Simonson here. There you go. What's that? Hey, Aaron Baker, good night. Thank you so much for being here.
Take care, Aaron.
Richard, you got to blame Mark for that one. He's the one that shows all the toys.
Sorry, yep.
That's why he calls his videos enabling. Yeah. So you don't see any Simonson in this at all, man. It's nice, though. But dang. I like Arnie Chan. I'm just saying he kind of just overpowers some suckers sometimes. So yeah, let's just blow this. Still, there's nothing quite like a blown up comic panel, even when it's not Kirby. Look at Heimdall. He looks wrong somehow, doesn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't look right there. Yeah. What's going on?
What happened to Heimdall? This is racist. Well, we are Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, folks. So we're gonna swing back to comics a little bit every now and then. But what you got? You got
I'm trying to find it. I found the whole. I'll get it in 1 second. Yep.
No problem.
I'm trying to find it. Yep.
The Enterprise. Wait a minute. Hey, Glinser, what's up? Don't, yeah, and I agree. The coloring's just so nice. Don't, unlike the coloring in the movie of Eternals, which is garbaggio. Yeah, well, everything Ernie does looks like Savage Sword of Conan. It does. Well, the thing is, at DC he was Ernie Chua, but at Marvel he used his real name Ernie Chan. And when he was inking anybody, or when he doing full pencils, usually inking, yeah, his people, they all looked kind of the same. But that's okay. I like them. Keely Chow. Keely Chow, an insincere roll tide to you because you're tied. Now, look, I don't know what was wrong with them the other day, but see, my LSU, my Tigers are garbage this year, and they almost beat your Tide, who roll everybody. What happened, man? Just asking. I mean, look, they were not even kidding, dude. LSU's bad right now, and they were getting 28 points in Alabama, and they only lost by 6. So
that doesn't happen too often.
Roll Tide. Yeah, Tide usually rolls people, buddy. I don't know, man. What's wrong with Saban this week? You guys mad at Saban? Or that's what I hate. One of the things I hate about college football. You'll win, but if you were favored to win by like 30 points and you win by 3, fans get mad at you. In the pros, you win by a point, and you're just glad you won. And you won this week.
Yeah, college, it matters. Yeah, it matters how many points you score, definitely. Yeah.
It's a beauty contest in college.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All right, well I did find it, so
okay. Hang on a second here.
This will make everyone jealous. I don't have this either, but just the guy that did this did such a nice job. If you love Star Trek Enterprise, yep.
Yeah, see what happened again, what I was telling you earlier, all was set it up, is we were showing, Mark was showing that Enterprise figure of T'Pol. They made these pieces there were 3 pieces. There was T'Pol's console science station. There was Malcolm Reed's, station on the other side, and then they had like Archer's captain's chair section. And the one they didn't make was they had made Travis, but they didn't make the toy where you could get Travis the helm. Yeah, they even had these made noises and everything. I have the 3 pieces they made. I have them right now, but you have no helm.
Can't go anywhere, right? You can't drive without that. They actually I read they made a prototype, and then unfortunately the sales of the figures didn't do well, and then they canceled it. So a person designed this 3D to fit with the other bridge pieces, so you can finally have Travis. So, and then of course the person painted it, and the guy did a beautiful job painting it. So if you print it, it's going to be all white or all gray or whatever. But the guy actually went in. Woo. He painted that. Yep. So here's the whole set together.
Oh my goodness!
So this is what you're missing. So you have these 3 Clobberin times, right? You've got.
Did they do Shran, or is that a custom? Oh yeah, Hoshi by the way, Hoshi is only wearing the spacesuit.
Yep.
Which is freaking stupid.
Yeah, they never did
you got
her.
Clang. I never got Clang. Did they really do Shran?
Well, here, let me do the other set here.
And the Suliban. Is that a Suliban?
I think they did. I'll show the checklist. I'll show you the checklist because I think they did the alien. So, yeah. So you've got T'Pol there and
Clang.
Yep. So someone.
Shran? I want Shran. Damn it.
So someone did a custom figure of. I was just looking when I was searching for this of Hoshi. Someone did a nice custom.
Well,
figure
good because it's ridiculous for Hoshi not to have a uniform.
Yeah, and plus she was scared to go into space too.
Yeah, but she did go in. There was an early episode where she did wear that very early on, but she didn't want to. Why would you do her with the spell? No flocks either, right? There was no flocks.
I don't think they had flocks either.
I don't think they did flocks.
And Hoshi in the spacesuit the episode when she was transported and they couldn't get her back, or was that she was in the spacesuit in that one?
She was in an episode in Fight or Flight. She was in the spacesuit in that one. It was one of the 2nd or 3rd episode.
Yeah, because part of her character arc was, being scared of going into space.
Well, Max, we all like that scene. He says, "I liked it when Hoshi got her T-shirt caught on things."
or the
Who didn't?
decon. It was a decon gel. What they call
No,
it? Or
no, she was climbing through one in the episode. The second part of that big that big one about the time with Daniels, and they found the time travel. They came back in the went into the future or whatever, and it was all destroyed.
and she got hurt.
Shockwave. Part 2 of Shockwave. She was crawling through this. They were getting her to crawl through these condos because she's the only one that could do it.
Oh, because she was small, right? Yeah.
Right. She came down into Malcolm's quarters and it ripped her shirt off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. And Eric K says, Hoshi and T'Pol, they should have made a version wearing the decon gel. Yeah.
Yes. MJ Media, HM1 Media. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Let's see here.
Hell.
Speaking of space and comics, how about those magnificent Space 1999 comics by Byrne Club? Yeah, that was one of the early works he did. It was for Charlton, and it was pretty scratchy stuff for Byrne. Very, not very polished at that point. His Space 1999. Also, Doomsday Plus One he did. He did ROG 2000. Yeah, he worked for Charlton. Look at all this stuff. What are all these pieces?
So these are all the pieces you'd have to print separately
bridge?
To do that. Travis, the
that
bridge.
many pieces?
That many pieces, yeah. So you can see
The
why
whole
they
bridge,
canceled.
right?
No, just his console.
Just his console? What do you need that many pieces for it? You gotta be shitting. Are those small?
Well, that's why the toys are so expensive too. You've got to make a mold for each of these pieces. Usually they have something called a family mold. So what you do, you take an aluminum and you make a huge block and you put all the pieces in the block together, so you bring the cost of the mold down. But
there's the console right there. I can understand that. Okay, console.
And all these little pieces. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite.
Must take it some time.
Yeah, just to design it. So, and the guy put it out here for free. So, eventually, someday, maybe I'll print this. But it's then you've got to paint it. Yeah, I'll do.
He's
I'll
not
do
selling it.
No, but he's got it out here for you to Yeah, there's a design. So that's all the pieces that go. You can kind of visualize. There's a lot to it, and I think the chair probably swings back and forth.
Made the chair. Wow.
Yeah, so he's got the chair. Those are their arms. Yep.
So then the chair goes turn around. Yeah.
Yep, and then you've got also let's see. So no one's made it actually. So they're showing you, and then what people they don't want you to do is. Some of them say you can make it, but don't sell it, because then the guys, you're using his work to make money. But yeah,
they can't stop you from making it, but don't
sell it. Yeah. But you can actually license some 3D designs and sell them. You give the artists a cut, so they get something from it. Yeah.
Yes, MJ1 Media. Yes. Well, this is the bridge, and they never made the one for the helm for Travis. And so this is a guy who 3D printed them, yes. And Richard says he wanted to buy a good 3D printer a while back, but Little College House is mostly made of wood, and it felt like it wasn't a good idea. Well, Richard, Mark D here with the C of this channel, he has a great channel as well. He does a lot of videos about 3D printing and stuff.
Well, you can get alarm systems put on them, and also fire suppression systems, but like anything else, you should never leave it totally unattended. I mean, sometimes I'm guilty of that, but I have cameras on them, and I have a fire alarm, where I print. But you can actually buy these basically balls filled with flame suppressor, and you can hang it above the 3D printer, so God forbid it catches on fire, it dumps it down and puts the fire out. Because basically it's think of it, it's like an oven going, or it's melting the stuff, or it's like an iron, like a small iron that's going in. And some of the cheaper 3D printers, if you're concerned with that, I would say, buy a better quality name brand 3D printer. If you buy like a $200 cheap 3D printer, it's like anything else. It's coming from another country, and it might not have all the safety features. But right now, I'd say Prusa is probably the best, one of the better printers in terms of, cost versus quality. But, there's so many YouTube guys out there that recommend printers and things. But it's like anything else. When you go too cheap, sometimes it's, you end up spending more money, or, could potentially be not as safe. But you really got to be a hobbyist to, play with those. But you could, try that Prusa Mini if you want to get into it. Google the Prusa Mini. It's not too expensive, and it's fun to be able to do this kind of stuff. But then you have to have the talent to, like this person who did it, not only printed it, but he did a great job of painting it. And he probably I'm guessing these are decals that he printed and then put on, over the top to get that kind of detail. But it's, it's beautiful, beautiful work. So it's
too bad Hoshi doesn't have a chair.
Yeah. Got to print Hoshi a chair. Come on, don't slack off. Yeah. You
got to print her chair in her console and then print the view screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max Redstone, sorry to hear about that. But I guess the Bears lost, huh? I'm sorry, I haven't a lot of buddies. I have some buddies who are Bears fans, so sorry about that. If you're a Bears fan, I don't have I don't have a cable anymore. Can't watch it. There you go.
So here's all the figures in that set. So that's what they came out with, the away team figures. So they had
away team, yeah.
It's an Archer.
I think it's the Phlox one, isn't there?
Let's see, Archer, Tucker. There's a Phlox in the away team, yeah, but I don't think they did Phlox in uniform, right? So then we've got Hoshi. Then we got the Nausicaan captain, right? And they did Shran, yep. So they did Shran.
I should have got that one. I'd like to have got that one.
And you got DePaul in the away team uniform.
Right.
There you go. So these are the broken bow figures. Yep. So you had Archer, Tucker, Mayweather, Clang. You did get the Suliban, and that's DePaul. That's the one I just got. And Malcolm Reed. I think I have a Reed figure. And then these were the sets. Yeah, these were and this was in the comic book shop at one point for $10. I didn't buy. It was in there for like 5 years. Wow. I think when the guy closed down the shop, no one bought it.
I must have bought. I think I bought them at Toys R Us or something for. I can't remember what the price was.
Well, this would be, he had it, for forever, and no one wanted it. So these were the three really deluxe sets, and the Mayweather never came out. So yeah, so if you
I wish I'd have got that. I never saw that Shran anywhere. I would have got Shran and Phlox.
Yes, this is really nice. Now I'm like, oh, why didn't you buy it? I know. Did they adjust the chair so it was 2 inches lower on this figure?
I don't know, but my Archer leg broke once, and I got to get a new one. But yeah, these were again. I bought these, but you're right. Nobody else was buying them but me.
Yep.
And all they needed was make that last one, the jackasses.
Yep. I think I've seen pictures somewhere on the interwebs of them doing that. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Hungry Boy saying supervillain team up. Baron Karza and Crow. Yep. From my favorites, the Micronauts. Yep.
Yep. Why would you put Phlox in the damn in the away team suit? It makes no sense.
No sense, right?
Just like Hoshi, it makes no sense putting Hoshi in that either.
Yeah. I could see the captain or whatever. Yeah.
Or do it all. I mean, yeah, it's fine doing the captain and alternates and all that kind of like the trip thing's another thing. That's another one. You had to order trip special. I think, like I said, I think it was Wizard of all things.
Yep. Let me Google that. Yep.
Took me a while to get trip. No, I mean, when these were still not when these were out, but I couldn't. I'm just you go looking for me. Wait a minute, where's Trip? Why is there not, Trip's my favorite character?
Well, I think what happened, if I'm remembering right, I think the sales were way down, and they decided not to release it or do that many, so you had to buy it specially. I think. Yep.
That's about like doing a figure line original series, but not doing McCoy or Spock.
Yeah.
Not doing Trip. He's that important to the show. So
here's someone who did a custom Trip. That's 4.5 inches, though. There's all these people who do custom figures. But
that was like a special old Playmates right there.
Yeah, it's probably it took a Playmates. Yep.
All right, Mr. Richard, thanks for popping in, buddy. I know you have to run, but it's good to see you, bud. Take care. Bears missed a 65-yard field goal attempt.
Oh, wow.
There was one earlier this year. Somebody hit a 65-yarder max from what I remember. Crazy. So I guess somebody else took a shot at it thinking if that guy can do it, I can. And Not quite. Well, I have some buddies who are Bears fans, so I'm sorry to hear about that. Max, I don't know if you know, I was the NFL. I was madly in love and a complete freak for the NFL and my beloved team for 50 plus years until last year, when it got to I finally just got sick of what all their shenanigans that I won't go into here because they're political, and gave them up. And it still hurts not to be able to watch it, but a little bit. But I also don't miss it either. Now when I do turn it on, I feel nothing. I can sit there and actually sit through a game now, and not even other than still loving how the game's played and watching the game, even though it's very sissified now. As far as getting enthused about my team or anything, that's gone. That's over. I'll sit there, and have no emotion for it anymore. It's so weird. This is a year into it, and it still feels weird. That's how much the NFL used to mean to me.
That same connection. Yep.
Yep. I mean, your team won yesterday, but you didn't care.
Not that much. I'm kind of watching a little bit more than I used to, but yeah, it's not the same. It just kind of loses some of the luster. It's like when you're a kid too. Nothing's better than when you're a kid. And then I finally asked my dad. He's like, "You mean baseball players get paid to play baseball in the major leagues? Like, I'd play for free if I ever got in the major leagues."
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait till you get older. You'll understand." Yeah.
Sure. And D-Bud, I do watch a little college here and there, but the thing is, 2 years ago, our college team here, the LSU Tigers, had what could arguably made as the greatest season any single season college football team has ever had. And now they're paying the price by sucking, but they had that 1 year that was so unbelievable, so phenomenal, where they just head and shoulders above everyone else and destroyed everyone and broke records. I figured, like, you know what, now, and it's not, when you do something like that, it's just different from the pros. But I'll still watch a little pro, or even a little college if I can. But I'll watch a little college football. But I don't know, man. It's weird. I really love. I watch old NFL. I watch old NFL films on YouTube now, and that's way better.
Yeah,
this is cool.
Yeah. So these were this is the first wave, I guess. So then they're saying here, the third line would have been Mayweather, like that guy 3D printed, Sato, Hoshi in the Standard Enterprise, and Dr. Phlox in the medical outfit, right? But they were canceled before, and this link is dead, unfortunately. But I've seen pictures of them.
Okay.
And they did have the phaser, and
I have that one.
That phaser's nice, yeah. And the one thing, actually, the phaser actually ended up in some episodes. They used this toy in some of the episodes.
Are you kidding me?
No, they actually ended up needing some extra phasers, and they said they did such a good job on it. I mean, it's not a close up, but they had some scenes where I read that they used them.
Mine still makes the noises and everything, including the silly communicator doesn't make noise, and I have that, of course.
Yep, I've got a couple of those. Yep.
Figure. I mean, that's not a ship, model. It's a ship. It's a toy. MJ1 Media says, "I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. That can be tragic for a lot of people. I know, man. It's been a while. And because of Snowflake from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. In fact, my favorite sports team I saw in movies as a kid: baseball Angels, basketball Bulls, and hockey Ducks. Fair enough. Go Rangers," says.
Yep, go Rangers.
Go Rangers, says Mark.
Yep.
Paul. Oh, that's a Hallmark ornament there.
Yeah, that ornament's up. I think I have Archer in the chair. Yep. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of stuff because the show didn't do that. Do as well. That bust is not doing him justice. That's not a good bust there.
No, that is a bust. Ugh, that's a bust.
Yeah, the hair is bad. Yep. Monopoly. Yep.
Gave up on NFL last year, this season, but I was a Green Bay fan. Now it's full of Steelers fans. Wow, that had to be interesting. Luckily, it was never an issue except for one. Those are arguably the two most successful franchises of all football history. So that's strange. Weird though. Yeah, I'd agree that Porthos needs a figure.
Yeah, where's Porthos? Yep. You did get mentioned in the movie. We won't mention, but this is my favorite. I got to pick this up eventually. But the English Eagle Moss's Enterprise refit model, the NX refit, which I think is gorgeous. So the designer actually Doug Drexler. It actually
What is that?
planned.
SS Enterprise NX refit. What? Oh, okay.
So this is the original ship, and they'd actually planned to, in between seasons, or they would have, had a refit in one of the episodes.
Jesus, they add a whole secondary hull.
Yeah, so it's gorgeous. So you had the secondary
nice.
hull with the pylon, and it fits because here's the original, pylon, and it stops here, but then they added the secondary hull here, and it's so organically perfect. I mean, so I have a model of this that I bought.
That's pretty
that
nice.
I haven't made yet, but it's a great design. I mean, it's just so.
It is.
There's a couple of nice art. Like this is the model kit that I bought, so you can still find this, and then you can build it. But I mean, here's some nice, that's gorgeous artwork that someone did. I mean, see how cool that. I mean, it's perfect. And you can still see the old ship, version here, and then you've got the new ship here. So
the catwalk's different, right? They don't have a catwalk anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of the catwalk, I guess, and
That's
took that
amazing.
out. But it's
that's pretty cool. As long as it's not filth, I'm good.
And they'd planned it all along too. Like it wasn't like
later in a later season, maybe.
Yeah, they said eventually we would have maybe it would have been like the last episode or something. Here's the refit, the refit of it, and then they've got the cross section showing how they
wow
took the catwalk out, and people do a lot of nice work. But I just
thought
it was
thanks, PJ. We appreciate it, buddy. It's great to see you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Glad to have you,
PJ.
Look, dude, we need. I mean, I don't know what schedules are like, but I would love to just hang with you and talk Trek and other stuff with you one of these days, my friend. Is it land? Is that from one of those ships of the line?
This might just be artwork that someone did, or maybe it crashed here. I don't know. This is you never know what people. This is a digital model, I guess someone did.
Nice.
Yep. Doug Drexler. Yep.
Doug Drexler is pretty cool. No comics. Like I was saying earlier. Okay, you got it, PJ. Thank you so much, my brother. It's good to see you, man. Hungry Boy, no, they didn't do it. They've done almost no Enterprise comics. They were in one of those Waypoint or something issues for. I think they had like maybe one or two in an issue of one of those IDW like anthology series or something. But it's always crazy. They never did Enterprise comics back when the series was on. I mean, they've done books, but no comics.
Yeah, it didn't reach
comics.
that critical mass. And a lot of people think that maybe we're trekked out at that point because you'd had so many series that had been successful, and you had Deep Space Nine, and I guess what was still on when Enterprise was on? Was Voyager still on for a couple of years? There was a couple of years of overlap with Voyager.
No overlap.
There's no overlap?
Voyager ended, and then Enterprise started up.
Okay, there's no overlap. All right. But people thought, there's, fatigue. Plus going to a prequel, too. It's always tougher, too, when you go to a prequel like that and you're, showing what was going to happen, But I thought they did a really nice job of explaining things. The Vulcans were interesting back then, and it, and everything wasn't easy too. You didn't have, unlike the new quote unquote series that's out. The ship seemed so high tech. This ship, didn't have shields. It was, they were
polarized really, fighting.
Yeah, and they were getting their ass kicked all the time, and it's. So it was a struggle. They didn't have the universal translator yet. Hoshi had to struggle to communicate. They were out there on their own. There really I don't think they had, any other support. The Vulcans kind of weren't helping them really when they needed help. So it was a really, they're out and trying to make their own way. So here you can see the evolution between the two. I just love how they did that with that model. So
there is something about that movie reprint. I mean, obviously, I love the original series Enterprise. I love it. There's something about that movie refit. I don't know what it is.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
It's the most beautiful ship I've ever seen. That's my favorite ship of all ships ever.
That's an amazing design. Yeah, when I first saw that on the screen, I was like,
You see the fan made model of the Enterprise A. If not, I'll DM you the design. Yeah, I've seen. When you say a fan made model, I've seen many models of A. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. A
well,
fan made one.
there's some gorgeous people have done some amazing work with. They'll put the shuttlecraft in the shuttle bay.
Yeah.
So there's a Polar Lights Enterprise. Let's see, Polar Lights.
No bloody A, B, C, or D. Yeah, I mean, now A, of course, is the Yorktown, right? Renamed Enterprise. So
So here's some well, I guess that's a video, but look at how gorgeous that is. That
wow.
people make them all different scales, and there's the 1/350th is really beautiful size. Yeah.
Wow, look at that one with the shuttle in it, though.
Yeah, let's
The
see if we
shuttle,
go.
the one with the shuttle.
Oh
the
yeah,
shuttle,
that's what I was saying.
the
Yeah,
shuttle
look,
bay.
people
Wow,
do the
that's
shuttle,
fantastic. Oh my goodness.
and people make it so the doors open and close. Some people go all out and they'll do and they'll do the bridge on top, and you can take like this one. I think you can take the top off and look into the bridge. But you can see all the work that that people do, and there's some great YouTube videos out there.
I don't know if I've seen that one or not. I probably have at some point, MJ1, but I don't know. I wouldn't know. And when I see them, I don't know all the names of these, so I don't know. It's possible I have or haven't, but I've seen a lot of amazing models of it. Absolutely. Hardwire Productions. I don't know if maybe Mark knows who they are.
Haven't heard of them, but I'm sure that's some gorgeous, gorgeous work. So there's some, as saying Enterprise Starship porn. Just looking at these starships. Yep. I have a lot of the Playmates ones. The model kits. The toys, which are pretty nice. But these models with the lights really take it to the next level.
Okie dokie, MJ1. What's that? The one with the blue all over it.
Let's see.
That looks like the one I have.
Which up to the right or up to the?
It's not a model, I don't think, but it's a
toy.
One with blue all over it. Over there. It's a lot of blue.
That could be. Yeah, sometimes people change up the paint scheme. I'm trying to. Oh, that's a kit, and someone just decided to paint it that way. I guess Yeah, Polar Lights kit. Yep.
Gotcha.
So you can still get this. You can get the refit. That's 1/350th scale, so it's a huge kit. And I do have one, of course, but I never. That's why I was saying when I retire, I'll build it someday. But here's the inside. Like someone did it, the shuttle bay with the cargo bay inside the ship. It's just unbelievable that they'll cram that. They'll cram that in there.
So if the Yorktown was renamed Enterprise A, and as we saw in Star Trek 5, it had so many issues. I've only got one question. Who was in charge of the construction of that ship? Well, it was very old. It had been refit, but I don't know. I mean, there's the problem with that in Trek 5. Kal-El, it's just that they were going for cheap laughs by making the ship. That was one of the things that aggravated me. Like, all messed up and stuff. Again, it was tired kind of at that point. We got to ship this in pieces, and we got a skeleton crew on board. And it was, much as I still like parts of it, that was one of the shoddier bits of writing, I think, personally. But those ships were old now.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like that. Didn't like
40.
Like what they did there. So with having the ship fall apart and Scotty banging his head on the on the bulkhead, it's like, come on.
Yeah. So I saw. I mean, I don't have really a good explanation other than that, Kal-El. I can't really imagine. All right, Steve Mitchum. Good night, bud. Thanks for hanging out,
Steve
bro.
Mitchum.
Yeah, monkeys in our minute.
So for $2,500, this could be yours. This guy is selling them. CinemaWorks models, and he's 18 months. If you order one, you'll get it in 18 months. and let's see, it includes lighting systems produced by Trek Modeler, working strobes, running lights. You can do warp mode, standby, fading effects, and then you can also include the officers' lounge. And you've got the shuttle bay in here, and then you got shuttle. You can say, "Do I want shuttles glued down to the floor?" And then it includes figures. So yeah, there's this shuttle from TMP in there that Spock rides in. Looks
I
like
think
maybe
so.
in the middle, maybe. And then he etched details. Wow, that's just amazing. Yep. So
Wow.
well, here, I think it's okay if we click play on that. Do you think, or
I don't
what do
know.
you think? Yeah, we should be okay showing
Polar lights.
with no sound.
Wow.
Yet.
There's the A right there.
So this is a guy's video and his, give him a shout out.
Polar lights. Enterprise A. I said a buddy of mine has the original series, Polar Lights.
Now look at that. Everyone should have that under the Christmas tree this year, right? or for Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Yep. Look how nice that is.
Shouldn't the deflector array be blue?
It should be blue. Yeah, some of it could be. It could be off, maybe because of when you do video. Sometimes the white balance is off. So I guess you can look inside the. There you go. That's nice.
B as in barricade.
Plus, when you do those details, it's a lot tougher to fit in all the lighting and yeah. Oh, here it's blue now, I guess. Yep.
So that's such a huge shuttle bay. There's not much left of living quarters and all that other stuff with the ship.
That's true. Yeah.
Like a lot of that secondary hull is wide open space for shuttles and stuff, I think. Now it's blue.
No, it's blue. Yep. There's different effects, depending on what. I guess it's a red alert, maybe, or yep.
Or a yellow one.
Yellow alert. Yep. But yeah, so that's what's his name again? That's CinemaWorks models. Yeah, I'll put it in the
I see a Jupiter.
link in.
I see a Jupiter too.
You see a Jupiter too? Oh yeah, there you go. How's that?
Oh my God!
Oh, I'd actually, yeah. Isn't that gorgeous?
I have a Johnny Lightning of that. That would love that. That's fantastic. That is wondrousness.
There's some talented people out there, right? So.
Oh my goodness. Want. Oh man.
Well, whoever has the most toys wins, right? That was the TNG episode you just watched, reviewed this week with Raquel, right?
That's right.
That was a good episode. Yeah.
It
some
was.
good episodes this week. Yep.
Yep.
I cut out before the menage. I don't want to say it the wrong way, right? That last episode, I was camping this weekend, getting pretty cold, so I listened on the phone. But you guys didn't. No one really liked that episode. Yeah.
What, the stupid last one?
The last one, yeah.
Yeah,
it was a silly episode.
Piece of crap, man. Well, thank you for that, MJ. MJ1, I will definitely check it when I get the chance, dude. I'll have to take a look at the video and watch it when we get done. I appreciate it. By the way, I just sent you a picture via Twitter. It's related to tonight's tonight regarding Enterprise, sort of. Let's see. From Kal-El. Let me see. Hang on. Oh, okay. I wondered who that was. Just because it's different from your. I didn't know that was you. So okay. Oh yeah, I see that it's you. So I'm sorry about that, Kal-El. Jeez. Oh, dude. I can show that. I can't show a video yet, but I can show that. Let's see. Who made this meme? All right, let's see. There we go.
That's hysterical.
That's mean.
That song kind of grew on me after a while, wasn't?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Even I don't mind it.
Even Clobberin Times doesn't mind it. Yeah.
But I think I love most about what reason why I don't mind it as much is because it really aggravates so many people that it kind of tickles me, to be honest. I think it's a song that does fit up with those credits. That is, pretty enjoyable. Man, I don't mind. It's a silly, sentimental song, sure. It kind of fits, but I think it could be the end credits, and it might be okay. It shouldn't be the opening. I think they still should have used Archer's theme, but some people just get so really overreact to it. In my opinion, anyway. In my opinion, I think they do.
Well, I don't like when they speed it up. It actually annoys me more when they tried to make it more hip. Like was it the second season or the third season? They sped it up. I'm like, just go back to the old slower one.
That was a mistake.
It was not good.
Well, we need to keep up. We need to keep our promise a little bit. This is a comic show where I recommend some comics. So I'm gonna ask Mark for at least. I would give sort of a recommendation. I'm recommending Kirby's Eternals. I'm gonna see if Mark wants to recommend something. Then, if you guys want to recommend before, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
So, what is it? Do you have off the top of your head to put you on the spot? Of course.
Well, let me open up the box that just came today, which may or may not contain new comics.
Should I let him say this, folks?
But there's something in here that might be that we've been waiting for since this is November.
Remember the 8th of November.
Let's see what's in this box.
All right, folks, we have some
new junk.
It's Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. I promised some recommendations. I've done a whole recommendation show. This one didn't turn out that way, and I apologize. It's been a long week.
Sorry about all the wrapping paper noises, but
I got something coming up. Rod Thunderheart, brother.
Anything good is in here, but there's one issue that I'm really waiting for.
This is a mystery box, folks.
Let's see. Well, it's a mystery if I'm hoping the issue that I've been waiting for is in here. Oh, it's not here. Drat. The Thing miniseries that's coming out. That's what I'm waiting for. Maybe it was delayed. It's not in here.
To be out this week?
I thought it was out in November, I thought.
Jack's Mama's here, of course. And let's all give it M for our wonderful friend Mark C. Please, if you would. Lovely seeing you, dear. Hope you're doing great. Let's see. I'll come up with, let's see. What do I have here on my Comicology that I can show off? Besides this one book I've already shown off here. I got some good deals on some comics. Well, here we go. Sometimes you can get Kirby's Eternals fairly cheap right now on Comicology.
Isn't it about $20 or?
You can get the whole run for $20, and that's a lot cheaper than this. I told you. Did we hear earlier when J-Man told us what he spent, or what he saw it for? I mean, at the show.
Didn't he see it for what was it, $300 or 400? Yeah,
400, but he got the guy down to 350 or something. He bought a DC Comics Presents number 26 for like about what do you say it was? $220 or something. Oh, Canadian.
Wow. But yeah, Eternals is just going to go back down in value too.
Yeah, if you want to collect Eternals, the originals, if you really want to, folks, just wait.
Yeah.
Rod Thunderheart says a $5 super chat. Couple bucks to keep the lights on. Oh, well, thank you. You're too kind. Rod, it is always a pleasure, my friend. I'm glad to see you, sir. Thank you so much. I hope you were doing well up there, my friend. I know you're a busy man, but best to you and yours. We really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Here's a couple of, well, all right. Again, I always feel like I'm apologizing when I don't want to. I love comicsology. I love digital comics only because, I definitely, as a collector, love to have the originals. I love to have the trades. I'm gonna get 24 on here one night and talk about digital comics and drive them insane. But some people can't afford to buy back issues or afford to find a place to store them or any stuff. And if you want to read a comic, it is kind of fun blowing up these digital images on the screen. I mean, it is just it's beautiful. And for example, if you see some of these here, and by the way, I've got my video out right now for this. So if you'll go check that out, but let's see what's an example. You and I have talked about some of these comics recently. There's that one from the mid 80s I'm going to be reading soon, that Eternals run. There's the one I'm reading now, the Thor and the Celestials saga. And then about a year or so ago, or a year, whatever, they had a bunch of masterworks for 98 cents, something crazy like that.
How many issues are in there? Is it like the
10
12
issues
issue?
in one of these
the
things.
10 issue, yeah, like the small masterworks, right? Yeah.
Well, the big one,
really
the hardcovers have 10 in them.
Oh, so this was 10.
Yeah, that's a freaking masterworks. These are $50 books.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so I got the Defenders one. I think it was like 98 cents or something crazy like that. I mean, look at that, dude. Even when you have them, it's kind of
1 to
that's
6,
so cheap.
Okay.
Oh, that's 1 to 6. Okay.
And then but they had other issues too. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they don't go in order with these. I just still grab, really good storylines, I think.
Yep. Oh man, I love this stuff. Sal Buscema. Blow up. See, I mean, it's fun to blow the damn comic up like that.
Yeah, on the big screen, it's awesome. Yeah.
Do it on the big screen when I cast it to my TV. Oh, Rod, I love that, dude. I love hearing that. So there's some fantastic comics in all places. The local antique mall. I love all antique malls for that. Now,
yep.
Rod, like I was mentioning, my buddy J-Man, who was up from, I don't know exactly your neck of the woods or where, I think Toronto, but way up there somewhere. He went to a con this weekend, and he's been trying to get all the issues of DC Comics Presents. Let me see what the price is, just to give you an idea what he paid. He made a haul, dude. But I mean, it's boy, is it expensive. He got, let's see here, find what he posted, and oh yeah, J-Man. He got a DC Comics Presents number 26. Like I said, that, for those who do not know, is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans, the George Perez, Marv Wolfman new Teen Titans. They were in an insert. Okay. In number 26.
Like a backup feature, basically?
No, not a backup, an insert. They put it in the middle of the comic book.
Oh, in the middle, okay.
Number 26. Let's see here what okay. Okay. He got the Superman. He got the DC Comics Presents issue with T-Man. Cost him $1.70, $170.
Oh, I was gonna say $1.70. That's a great bargain.
Well, yeah, $1.70 wishes. And then DC Presents cost him $220. $220. He said so. That's like in USD, that in American dollars, he says that's $170. But Jesus, dude, spending some big bucks. And then he came in and told us earlier, "Wow, that's He said yes, and my wife knows."
And his wife knows. And you're still married, yeah.
JPRPH John says, "I really don't have comics. I have all the NEC, yeah, Tick, the man-eating cow, yep. Man, I remember those. The Tick
Paul
comics,
the Samurai, yeah.
Paul the Samurai, yep. Books related to Ben Edlund, related figures. So I'm learning about classic comics from you all. Thank you. Well, hey, anything you need to know, we'll do whatever we can, my friend.
Spoon.
You know what I had, by the way, John? In the early, right when I love the Tick cartoon. I mean, I love it. Townsend Coleman was fantastic. That voice, like he would say, "Gee, Keen," and he said, I had this big, gigantic Tick figure. I mean, he had to be, God, I can't remember how big plastic when I gave it to my son. But I really, that was my story, and I was sticking to it. It was for him. Yeah, right. And it really aggravated my then wife because you could press the back of his back, and they would say stuff like "spoon" and "key" and "I am the Tick." And then and also it said "Naughty Spawn, I am the Tick" or whatever. And he obviously being a young boy would mess with it a lot, but me being a young boy as well, to aggravate my then wife, I would bring it and play it behind her head in the middle of what she's doing something. I am the Tick. Spoon. She hated that toy, and I loved it.
And I'm a huge fan of the Fox live action TV show, which was canceled after 9 episodes. So I highly recommend that too if you haven't seen that.
Cartoon is great.
The cartoon's amazing. Oh, the cartoon's amazing with the live action.
That opening thing, dum dee da 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 weed out, and the villains on there were insane. I like the deflated mouse.
Yeah,
an American made.
Yeah. I actually have been to New England Comics, for spot, and got my picture taken up front.
Where?
By the wife.
Where?
Well, the New England Comics, the New England Comics shop.
Yeah, New England Comics. That's right.
Yep. So that's where they publish the Tick, and that's they have a store, actually a storefront. So I went in there and bought a bunch of Tick stuff. The wife's like, "That's enough. That's enough." I just love all things Tick. It's just so funny. And the new Amazon series was okay. Actually the boat was actually a great character in that they had in that series. But boat, I think it was a boat or ship, but it was coming to life and had a big crush on one of the characters. It was pretty fun. But I think it only went two seasons before they canceled it. Just as it was really good, as Arcade's saying. Yeah, it was too bad they canceled it. And right when a series is picking up steam, it's like don't cancel it. But it was the Tick is always destined to be canceled early, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved Deathlock. I don't know if any of you ever read Deathlock.
Yeah.
And this was so good. This is another one, you guys. I mean, if you want to just look at some old stuff, if you're just interested in some cool old stuff, let's see. Where am I? Oh. I don't know if you've ever read any Deathlock comics. He was cool.
Yeah, Deathlock's very cool. The old Deathlock, yeah.
Real deal Deathlock was badass. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Frankenstein monster when you think about it. Yeah.
Plus, it was coming into popularity around the time of the $6 Million Man. But this is, in my opinion, some of Rich Buckler's finest work. I really love this. Hungry Boy, thoughts on Buckler? I know Buckler was imitative. He did Kirby rip. He did Neil Adams. I mean, he did some nice stuff. Look at that panel arrangement right there. That page arrangement looks something right out of Steranko. Because that was what he did. He was very imitative. He ripped Steranko, who ripped a lot of Kirby. So let's face it. Yeah. But Hungry Boy, your thoughts? Here we go. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I didn't see him put that. There you go. Buckler. I love Buckler though. Let's see here. So look at these old comics, dude. Jesus. He did some amazing panel arrangement on Deathlock. I
wonder if Eddie from Iron Maiden is influenced by Deathlock.
I don't know.
Because I'm sure Deathlock was probably first, I think. I'm guessing.
I think so. I think he really went on because he co-created Deathlock, Hungry Boy. And I think he did go all out on it. I mean, it's just, look at that. That looks right out of Steranko.
Yeah, great panels. Yeah, in the middle there, drawing you in.
Yep. This is again. This was
the tiny panels. Yeah, that's true. You don't, when you read the comics, you don't really think about it. Sometimes you're just going through it, but when you go back and look at it,
yeah, that's incredible. Brilliant art. That's, again, some of this panel arrangement. Again, I say Steranko. Steranko studied the best. Really, a lot of this is very Eisner. Wouldn't you say, Hungry Boy? I mean, he was one of the most. He was the masters of panels. And Terminator owes a lot to Deathlock. Absolutely, Matthew Pounder. Absolutely, man. This is just beautiful.
RoboCop
stuff.
too, probably, right? Yeah.
Yeah, RoboCop owes a lot, not only to Deathlock, but of course to Judge Dredd. But yes,
Yep.
I remember that was
Kind
one
of
of the things.
merged
Kind
the
of,
two. Yeah.
yeah, it really struck me that RoboCop was a lot like Judge Dredd. When it came out, we were, of course, man, I was obsessed with Judge Dredd. Then I was obsessed with RoboCop.
Yep.
See that movie so many damn times.
And you loved him so much, you probably watched all the TV series and everything too, right?
I loved RoboCop too, but I didn't really watch the show. I didn't even.
Yeah. Well, there's a kids show. There was a kids show that they did that was kind of cheesy, but I ended up liking it. But it was very, the violence was really toned down. It was kind of the message of the week. It was almost like an A-Team type violence,
Yeah.
And then they had a couple of movies that came out, like almost like a made-for-TV movie. They were okay, not great, but I think they were filmed in Canada. I think I bought most of them. But,
look at this here. You'll note some Kirby Crackle, some Kirby machines by Buckler, who always did a lot of Kirby. Very Kirby-ish looking.
Yeah.
Because especially when he did FF. That's beautiful stuff, in my opinion. That's amazing.
It looks like a Jesus figure there too, a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, right? It did. Yes, sir. Again, this is these weenies didn't draw on computers. I mean, they didn't draw on computers like these weenies today, I should say. I mean, they did real art. Look at and again, I'm not an artist, but even I know things about composition and storytelling. Look at that. I mean, that's just an unbelievable shot right there.
Well, you're in his head there, right? Basically, that's his perspective of what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. I'm sorry, but I am doing recommending because I'm recommending this old run of Deathlock. I mean, I don't think that it's the same price as it was when I got it to cheap on here, but yeah, I always like this cover. Deathlock. I mean, you want to read something from the old school that's not as well known, but it's just a really good read. Doug Minch was a pretty good writer. And of course, they kind of changed him later. Naturally. There you go again with that. Oh, man, dude. And, when these were coming out, I got to see a couple of them, but obviously, distribution was that such. I didn't get to get every issue, or maybe 1 month I didn't see it and just bought something else instead. You know how that goes.
What year is this one, this series?
I'd have to check.
Was it late 70s or it's?
I'll be getting to it on the Spinner Rack Time Machine, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Early 70s.
Yeah. This is before Wolverine, though, right? This is before Wolverine and.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that's predate Wolverine. Let's see here. What year was this?
Because Deathlock was 74, but I'm just wondering what this. That kind of reminded me of Weapon X, the Weapon X program. There's some of that.
Let's see
those scenes. Yeah.
Did someone put it in there? Was it 74? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Deathlock was first issue was 74. Let's see. Yep. Oh, here's Astonishing Tales 25.
Okay. So we'll definitely
Yeah.
get there on the Spinner Rack Time Machine then.
Yeah, so 1974. Yep.
Yes, sir. I like
That's a great concept. Yeah.
You ever see how the 2-page thing that they can do on here on Comicology? That's pretty cool too. It's the best.
My eyes are shut, so I usually zoom in on the individual panels.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Yeah, it's nice. But I wish there was a mode where it would show you the whole page first and then go into the panels. Like
you could do that.
You can do that on that.
I think so. Let me see something.
Like that would be nice when you flip the page.
Well, there's Grand View. All right, see that? You mean like that, and then go.
Yeah, the guided view, right? But it would be nice if
guided view, yeah.
Yeah, if they would show. Then when you go to the next page, like they'd show you the whole page, then go to the guided view.
Oh, they just go to the panel.
Yeah, they just go to the panel. But I always like kind of sucking in that whole page.
That,
and
you
then
have to do
going
it yourself.
in. You got to do it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Comicology. That is a feature.
But you hear a lot of people trash, like they're angry. They don't think there should be a comicology. I mean, look, a lot of people can't see, dude. A lot of people can't get these ridiculous these compilations of these find the back issues, and buy them. And it's not like you don't want it's not like you're anti-collector, but a lot of these, you got to understand another thing people don't think about much. These comic books are deteriorating over time. Eventually, the only way to get them will be to buy the regular issues if you want to read them, which is fantastic. And I'm all for that. I love collectors. I wish I could afford the space, afford the comics. They're going up in price. You can get some at least nice reprints of them, but people don't like that either. But what's wrong with committing them to digital as long as they're not fucking with them? And you can blow them up on a big, nice screen. This is art. This art is made to be read and enjoyed. Collected is fine. I love collecting, but I enjoy seeing this stuff. I enjoy looking at it and reading it. That's, to me, it has no other purpose beyond being picked up and read and enjoyed. That's what it's for. First and foremost. And however you can do that, I'm game. And it's not mean I'm anti-collector. And if Comicology or whomever, they put these comics out there and you can just enjoy that beautiful art, really all nice and cleaned up on a big screen and stuff, I love it. Even though, again, I like holding a comic book in my hand. And when I can afford it and collect it and store it, fantastic. I want it. But what the hell's wrong with this?
Yeah, because even if I have some of the old issues, I'd probably go read it digitally before I open up, take it out of the bag and
that's a good
touch
point,
it.
too.
And as much as it's nice to read it and you get that old smell, but it's just touching it, right? So
right.
It's too bad. Yeah.
That's why, look, I have a lot of my friends who are hardcore collectors, but even to them, it's the art form that comes first, which means, of course, stories and characters and art and everything like that. And yes, they want to collect it and have them. You can be both. Someone who's just a collector first, again, that's fine too, or whatever. But that's just not me. And in fact, I stopped being one a long time ago and got rid of a bunch of comics because if I didn't like it, I didn't want it in my collection that much.
Yep.
If I don't like it, I don't really want to take up the space. Let's see. Sadly, original newsprint comics deteriorate in the same way ink and skin cells blows out. Yes, right. So scans of decent newsprint copies are integral, that is, for archiving before the art is dying. Yeah, I mean, 200 years ago, this will be the way only people can read this stuff if they're still reading comics. Let's preserve it. I have no problem with that.
And I don't think it hurts the value of the comics too, because if people can read this, oh god, that issue is so amazing. Maybe I wish I could buy that, in hardcover, but or floppy form. But it's not. Some people thought, it would devalue the comics. But I don't think so.
No. And only to collectors who are trying to make money.
Yeah, and of course, if you slab them, you can't read them either, right?
No, but you're right. Exact. Slab, you can't read it.
Am I going to read it?
I would say it doesn't even devalue it to those collectors, but they don't like it. They want to be able to hoard, and they want people to pay. A lot of people just want to be able to turn the comics, so they want people to buy the originals. And I'm like, but again, like you said, if you spend a whole lot of money on an original, on an X-Men #1 or a giant size X-Men 1 or an X-Men 94 or an FF #1, are you going to open it up all the time?
I don't think I'm ever going to open my FF 49 again after I saw how much that's been going up in value lately.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, God, I don't want to touch it without gloves now. I got to put it between 5 backing boards. And I mean, I was so happy, when I got that, because I'd always wanted, the Galactus series. And of course I should have bought it, 20 years ago when, it was $100, say, and $100 was a ridiculous price, for like a semi-decent copy, but now forget it. It's like you had a FF #1, right? A crummy version, but you had it, right?
Copy. Half the back was missing, but it was in pretty bad shape. But
you had it though, right? You had it.
Oh yeah, it was in tatters. And right now, if whatever, that copy's probably almost completely disintegrated. Probably, I don't know.
Well, the one good thing about slabbing,
you couldn't restore it. I could tell you that you couldn't slab or restore it. Not that
one. The one good thing about slabbing comics is they've got ultraviolet filters, and they've got a pack of the dehumidifiers, but you actually have to change that out every once in a while, every so many years too, to keep the comic in good shape. In my office, I actually put in a window film with to cut out the ultraviolet light because it was destroying some of my stuff. The figures start to go, fade that I had. I had like Thor on the windowsill from that. I'm looking at him now, and he like half the cape went, so I got to like re-dye the cape or whatever. But it just got massive sun damage, and it's like half the cape because he's like there's a window pane, and then there's Thor. It's the Avengers series with the big huge giant man version, and that's that. But
Yeah,
sun
stuff,
damages. As Hungry Boy was saying, yeah, damages things. So it just gets old. Yep.
I love this cover.
Ink impregnated in paper pulp is similar to ink impregnated into skin cells. Like look at a 60-year-old biker tattoo. Yep. Well, that's the joke. Yeah. I know people love tattoos, but how are they going to look in 60 years? Yeah. Now you re-ink them, right?
Am I the only one that loves this old Kree outfit better than the? I mean, I like the red one, but for Captain
That's
Marvel,
cool.
I kind of like it. I love that one for some reason.
The helmet's a little weird though. When you
I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know. I always liked that outfit. Yeah, I know. I mean, I like the.
Kree Skrull War. God. Back when the Skrulls were cool villains.
The Kree were assholes. Well, they still are. Look at that green outfit, man. The green white. Oh my goodness!
Where's Space Ghost when you need him?
Yep. Comics, boy, comics. Even Don Heck was better than these weenies we got now.
Well, here I can show you what I got this month. Oh, some of this art looks bad.
I think Colin designed it. Yes, Matthew Pound, if I'm right, probably under the name of remember he was Adam Austin at first. I mean, that was his nom de plume or whatever. So yeah, that's Brie Larson all the way there. What you got to show? You got something to show?
Well, here I can show real quick. Just
cool.
This month, yeah. Since we're recommending comics, I'm a huge fan of the old Dark Hawk series. So they reintroduced them. I haven't read issue 1 and 2 yet, but so the first one I've got is number 3. So I have no idea if this is good or not. Maybe I'll do a review on it. But Dark Hawk was always one of my favorite characters. And you've got Star Wars here. I still love some of these old stories and War of the Bounty Hunters. So
real characters.
Yep. Even though it's new Star Wars, yeah, it's the old Star Wars. This art is not looking good.
Oh Lord, that sucks. God, he really looks like crap. Is it number 3 or 4?
Number 3 of 6. Yep.
Jesus. I got Claude dropped off number 1 for me. I never got the other ones. I didn't really care. I mean, I wanted to read them at first, and the art's kind of poopy doopy. But maybe I'll get them. Maybe I should get them digital.
You should get them digital. Yep. So we got Batman, Detective.
Oh man, it almost looks like Garcia Lopez cover.
Arkham Rising.
I don't know why, but it kind of looks like so.
We got Spider-Man.
He buys current comics, folks. Don't be mean to him. I'll do that.
Don't be mean. Yeah, you can be. Yeah, I've got my run of Amazing still going. And of course, we've got the new Daredevil.
The girl Daredevil?
Yep.
Oh my God. Why would you buy that?
Because I've got all the Daredevils going back.
But that's not Daredevil. It's not if it's not Matt Murdock, it ain't Daredevil.
Because Matt Murdock's in prison. So Matt Murdock's in prison. She took over while Matt Murdock's in prison.
Oh,
the first issue of this was actually kind of good. I've got to catch up to these. Well, Matt Murdock is,
Who is that, Elektra?
Can't look over Hell's. Yeah, it's Elektra. So he can't look over Hell's Kitchen. So she's taking up the mantle. So
why would Elektra want to be a superhero? What things change?
Things change. Yep. Well, this is a pretty cool cover, I think. Let's see what you think. Oh. No, I just hit the corner and ruined the value. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good cover.
That's not bad, right, Vader?
Yep.
Eric, come on, Mark. Come on. Almost looks like
she's Martha Murdoch.
Let's see.
What's
going on here? This is Wolverine.
But is it really though?
Not X20. That's a horrible cover. That's just really bad.
That is weird, dude.
That's a weird.
Wow, that was wild, weird stuff. Sorry, Steve.
Even with
wow.
the light. And the last one. It's Batman.
Oh, that's terrible.
Cover.
Oh my
Not
goodness!
Good cover.
Throw a bunch
Got
of
Barbara
colors
Gordon
on
in the background. Yeah.
That bites donkeys.
No storytelling here. It's just a whole.
See, that's a mess. I mean, and that's a computerized mess. Yeah. I'll bet you.
Yeah,
I'm no artist, but
I mean, I know, like I've said, I know friends who draw, and they'll.
Good night, D Bud.
They can do both. Yep. Take care, D Bud.
Take care, buddy. No, I got you.
You know, and let's see. Well, speaking of Deathlock, I've shown this before, but here's my 3D printed Eddie. Deathlock, right? Yeah, almost Deathlock. Yeah, that's Eddie. Yep. But yeah, I was hoping that the Thing issue would be in that set, but it didn't make it there. Yeah.
Was it supposed to be this week? You sure?
I'm not. I think probably they delayed it. I've heard a lot of comics are delayed, so
crap.
I'm not. I was hoping it would come out soon. Yeah.
Oh man, well, that sucks.
Let's see. Thing series.
You got more? You got more?
No. I'm googling it. Let's see what. Don't tell her, Cal. Thing series.
Yeah, he's not going it. Oh man.
Let's see.
Even Don Peck.
Paper shortage too, so they were saying everything, the supply chain.
Oh, we're really going digital, aren't we?
Well, it says debuts November 2021, so maybe it'll be the next. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe the next shipment. So I'm really looking forward to that.
This is one of the greatest covers. I mean, I love this damn cover here. It's Barry Smith before you've had the Winsor Smith in it, but inked by Herb Trimpe, hungry boy. What do you think of them apples?
Wow.
And it looks very Steranko-y. That's crazy talk right there. I like it. How about that one, hungry boy? What do you think of there? Collecting Inferior Fry. Oh, look at that. Are you kidding, Matthew Powder? I love that. He's collecting Inferior 5. You try the old ones? Well, I think there only are the old ones. Right? Except for that dumb Wade Straczynski did him. I love this cover. Why do I love this cover so much? Just because it's goofy, I guess. I don't know. It's beautiful. It's weird. It's beautiful. I could look at comic book art forever. Real comic book art. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm opening up that Superman to see if the interior art is just as bad.
Oh, okay. Because
I've
heard it was, but I mean, maybe that's the issue. But I mean, heard that it has been lately in the other ones.
Oh, it's not good. How could they do this?
Shit.
I mean, come on. I mean, I can't draw, as we always say. We can't draw, but it's just. And I know it's tough to get the likenesses sometimes, but just here I'll show a couple of panels, but I mean, look how flat that is, and that.
Why is that? Well, that's the Christopher Reeve Superman dressed up as Jor-El, and I guess that's Lois.
Yes, yeah. And here's the panel of him as a kid.
I bet Brainiac shrunk him or some shit.
That's not bad as a panel.
Yeah, I mean, it's clean. It's sanitary. It's sanitized, and it's sort of there's a cold, calculating kind of robotic feel to all that you could tell he did it on computers. That did not come from anyone's talent, like what we were just looking at.
I mean, if you're talented, you can draw on a computer too, though. I mean, it's just you just don't have the base talent. I mean, whatever the medium is.
But he traces shit though.
Yeah, this is horrible here. I mean, this is really, really bad. And especially with something like this where you're looking forward to Superman 78. I mean, look how it's just not good. I mean, you should have been like an Alex Ross painting or
right. I mean, you can read it. It's readable. I mean, it's digestible, I guess. JPR PH1 has a question here, and Hungry Boy, Matthew Pounder, Mark, and I, we should all help. You guys have any suggestions? Because John hasn't read any traditional comics. Start with. I have some. I could give you a couple of recommendations for traditional ones. Go ahead. What you got there? Go show it.
Yep, I'm just showing some of the, some more of the pages, but
yeah, he's got
Hungry Boy.
That's the '80s Brainiac, Marv Wolfman Brainiac.
Coloring book pages. Yep.
Yep, that's what they look like. Colored books.
I mean, the Brainiac's not bad there, but it's not. I want a lot of detail in my comic art.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell that this is Margot Kidder, so I'll give him.
He took pictures and traced it. Don't you think?
I'm not sure, but it's not showing enough detail to me. I mean, I guess it's stylized, like certain artists have have that, when they have that theme or how they do things, and you kind of grow to like their style. But when you're trying to replicate a movie, you'd want to have a more, realistic, or trying to find the right word. Margot Kidder's not bad there, Lois. It's okay, but it's not. You're not looking at the art and saying, "Oh wow, this is God, this is fantastic. I can't believe how how cool this is." And this is
all right. I want you to look at that pattern arrangement for a second and how stale and stolid it is, and I want to show you something.
Yep.
This is what a real cartoonist, who's not one of your greats or anything, and I'm not calling him a hack. Don Heck was okay. Yeah, look at that stuff. I mean, it's competent.
Yep, that's how the book opens. But yep,
look at that in contrast to this. Not one of your all-time greats, but he'd been around a long time. He'd been in the industry a long time. That page, the panel arrangement is dynamic. The action, look at the backgrounds. It's all the backgrounds look like something is happening. The action is moving. The characters aren't static. They don't look like they don't look bland. There's something to look at in every panel. Those ones you were showing, there's no background really that much. Look at that. That's just Don Heck, and I like. He was not one of the greatest. I think Arnold. I forgot who inked him on this one, but to me, that's 10 times better.
I agree. Yep.
That's a comic book right there. Hello there, Sherry. Good. The other you here, that's right. See, yes, Sherry, exactly. The colors are more vibrant. It's just the action flows better. And again, he's not one of my favorite artists or anything, but I like some of Don Heck when he's when he's up there. Now I'm going to show you something before we get out of here. I want to JRP. John, I want to show you a bit of a recommendation. Now, first, before I do that, I think we had a couple in the chat. Let's see here. Matthew Pounder says, Rampaging Hulk. If you can find those. So, yeah, Marvel Preview, Bizarre Adventures. Cool. Those are all black and white mags from the 70s. Those are cool. Miracle Man. The Alan, in my opinion, I don't know what Hunger Boy thinks, but I'd say Alan Moore's Miracle Man reprints would be definitely.
That's kind of tough for someone just getting into comics, so that's pretty heavy. That's a fantastic series. It's heavy though. It's not. It's not. If you're looking for lighthearted stuff, but it is highly recommended. Yeah, and Marvel reprinted them a few years ago, so you can pick up those as well. And they have all kinds of like it's a director's cut, so they're talking about the issues. So.
I would say again, because I don't know you that obviously not knowing you that well. I don't know what this when you don't know someone and you just say, "Hey, what comic should I read?" It's not easy because you don't know what they like. For example, if you thought someone liked science fiction and space adventure type stuff, and they haven't watched Star Trek, and there was someone who might be inclined to watch Star Trek, you might recommend Star Trek to them.
Yep.
But if you don't know if there's someone who would be susceptible to liking Star Trek, it's different. You're not sure what to think. You're not sure what to recommend them.
Yeah, like All-Star Superman I love that.
Yeah, that's one.
that one. But that, maybe that'd be like if after you've read a little bit more, you'd want to watch that kind of, and I was trying to compare the Quietly art to like that art. Quietly, he's got it's very simple art, but it's got a beautiful style to it. I don't know how to describe it, but there's something to it where it's got a punch or it hits you. You're like, oh wow, that's great art. Really great art in that. Some of my easy, I would say easy issues to read, like the Wolverine first limited series with Miller. I'd recommend that. You get the trade of that pretty easily, pretty cheaply. The Hercules limited series by Bob Layton.
That was really good. But see,
is one of my favorites.
The thing is, if you, for example, if you go cold and you don't know if they like superhero stuff or they like whatever, you don't know what genre is going to appeal to somebody. It's a little bit tougher, so I don't know what kind of genre.
Well, by reading those, you kind of get different. You get like a funny genre, you get a serious, like certain things. Like what would you say for Batman? What would be a good trade? Or, I wouldn't say Death in the Family is a good one to start with.
No, I would say
like what would be a Batman Year One? What's a good
Batman Year One? I mean, I have my issues with it myself, but that'd be open. I would go Batman Devil's Advocate would be a real good one to pick up. There are a few Batman, but I don't. Again, if you don't know if someone's would be interested in Batman, I love Miracle Man. That would be a rough one now, but I love that. But again, I don't know what would appeal to John necessarily. I'm just going to do what I always do. The world's going to get tired of me talking about this comic, but I'm going to talk about it no matter what. Astro City is one of the greatest things ever written. I think someone who hasn't read a lot of comics but knows enough about superheroes can probably digest it and easily enough because it uses all the superhero tropes. And yet in other words, this character right here, Samaritan, he's Superman, but he's not. They did a little bit of a take. This is a take on Superman. It is in a very comic bookish universe. It's not deconstructing the characters the way some other takes on Superman or Batman or the main heroes do. Okay, but yet they do a story here that you really couldn't do with Superman. For example, if you were Superman with all those powers, and anytime you take a few moments for yourself to do something when you're not out there flying around saving people, people are dying all over the world.
Yep.
And that guilt can really get to you. So you deny yourself a life. That's what this story is about. This character's called Samaritan for all intents and purposes. He's Superman. This comic's called Kurt Busiek's Astro City. Well, I won't show you much from it. Just. But if you were Superman and you had those unbelievable powers, why would you, in your dreams, dream of flying? You dream of flying when you're not superpowered. This guy, in my dreams, I fly. But then when he wakes up, he realizes he can fly, but he never gets to do it for his own enjoyment. Every time he tries to rest, he's got to get back out there and do something again to save people and stuff. The character and this is just issue number 1, the very first issue they ever did 26 years ago. And I've loved this comic ever since. It deals with superheroes, it injects them enough realism to make you ask realistic questions without deconstructing their mythology, their tropes, their idioms, or their characterization. Whereas Watchmen, which I love, and I do recommend Watchmen, Miracle Man, which I love, but I do recommend Miracle Man. Those are pretty hardcore, though. Those are deconstructionists of the superhero lore and the superhero genre. This doesn't. This injects into the superhero genre real questions better than anyone has ever done before, using archetypes for the most part of many different superheroes. You got Superman types. You got characters that kind of are sort of Batman, but not really. Spider-Man, but not really. Fantastic Four, but not really, but close. And yet all in this hodgepodge, and it tells some of the most brilliant stories you ever. Sometimes not even about the superheroes themselves. Sometimes about what it's like to live in a city. What would it be like in real life if you lived in a city like the Marvel or DC universe, like a New York, is similar to a New York, where all these crazy superhero science fiction and science fantasy things are real. They happen. And you live in it. You live around it all the time. Sometimes they don't even talk about the heroes other than their effect on what would real people. would be feeling if they lived in that kind of universe. That's what Astro City's all about. Sometimes it'll be about the heroes. Other times it's about the people in the city, in that strange, real world. And so that's one I definitely recommend. Astro City, Kurt Busiek's Astro City. Hey, Six, what's up? Also, Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller. I would recommend that one if you want kind of a darker one there.
Yep. Of course, the FF run, issues 1 to 102 or 103, or maybe pick up the first the first Masterworks if you can get it. That's fantastic intro to the Marvel universe.
Also, Marvels by Busiek and it's good to see you, Six. Marvels by Busiek and Alex Ross.
Yep.
I would recommend Kingdom Come by, even though it's Mark Waid. And Mark Waid's a jagoff, but it was a great comic. And Alex Ross. A year ago, our good buddy Mark C., who tonight's show is named after, and we reviewed a great comic called Justice by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger. I think it's Jim Kruger, I think it was. Did you ever read that one, by the way?
No, I haven't read that, no.
We reviewed it about a year ago. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Really?
Nope.
We did a stream on it. It was called Justice by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger. And I remember when it came out like in 2007. I bought it, of course. A lot of people bought it because it was Alex Ross, Kingdom Come art and all that stuff. You've seen the art, I know that, because it's impossible for you to breathe in a comic shop and to have not seen this art.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay.
So I remember buying it and sort of liking it and thought it was kind of okay. But it was a long time. I don't know if you've ever done that. You read something, you thought, all right, but then you go back later and revisit and you go, whoa, man, I wasn't really thinking straight. Well, this is amazing. That happened. I don't know if it happened to you. I'm just saying it happened to me. It's called Justice. This comic, if you like superheroes, I'm going to put it to you like this. Let me see if I can put it to you like this. Okay. And I told Mark this at the time. If you were to tell me that the gods would come down and say, all right, Mr. Superhero Geek, if we do one DC Comics related superhero movie exactly the way you want it, we adapt the story exactly, completely faithful, and we make it visually look exactly the way you want. You get to choose the costumes, all that stuff, and after that, you get no say in anything. Not that they give me a say anyway, but you know what I'm saying. You can't bitch ever again about a superhero movie. That's it. You have to, in fact, if we do this way, you have to pretend to like all the other ones. You get to pick one that we adapt, and we adapt it correctly. And I'm not just saying this because of the art. The art's beautiful by Alex Ross, as you can see. The story, when you really get into this damn story, it's brilliant. I almost thought Alan Moore had written it. And I was going, Alan Moore didn't change his name to, was it James Kruger or what? James something Kruger. Why am I forgetting his name? I'm an idiot. But anyway, this story is so great. Jim Kruger. There you go. And Ross may have plotted a lot of it. Now, Dougie Braithwaite helped with some of the art. And we did a deep dive on the story. This is obviously the art's really nice. It goes without saying. If you're an Alex Ross fan, as a person, I'm not a fan of his, but I don't know if you like his art, but I love his art.
Oh, it's amazing.
Don't tell Steve Mitchum he hates it. He doesn't hate it, but he thinks he's just painting. He criticizes it because it is just him painting models and stuff, people dressed up, but still, look, it's fantastic. So imagine this art with a great story. And by the way, here's Kingdom Come, but that's different. This is Justice. There's bits of this thing that are so brilliant. Could you imagine? It should be longer than a movie, but at least a movie of this. Could you imagine this story? And I'm not spoiling any of the story or anything. You should all go check it out. So if you, John, I don't know if you like superheroes. Marvel, DC, don't know what your poison is. But if you like, if you like superheroes and you like DC ones, this story's brilliant in my opinion. Let's see here. I have watched a lot of Fox Kids Club stuff and all the superhero movies, TVs. Okay, I'll try Astro City and all that stuff Hunger Boy mentioned. Screen capping this. Okay, yeah, there you go. Cool. If you need anything else, but I would say anyone, and Matthew Pounder, like I said, it happened with me. Couldn't get into it at the time. I'll give Justice another try. I bought them. I read them. I was like, yeah, it's okay, but I didn't pay attention. Then a year ago when we went to do this, I went and I looked at them. I read them online on the stupid DC app, and man, the story is just incredible. And basically is the villains come down. Lex Luthor and some of them comes up with this plan, and, along with who was he with? Vulture Humanite or somebody like that, or Brainiac, to offer the people of the world everything. Basically, they start healing the sick, they start feeding the poor, they start building homes and stuff. A lot of this in other words, they start looking like they convincing the world that they're the good guys, and they want to atone for all the bad they've done, and really start making the superheroes look bad. And they find a way, thanks to Mr. Mind, to start taking over the minds of a bunch of the superheroes. Needless to say, and look at Batman with that metal man outfit. It's a genius. This is a genius story, I think. So, and it really speaks to how easily people will just give in to the bad guys if you give them everything they want. How people will become sheep, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep, I haven't read it, but I'm going to check it out now. Yep.
Yeah, I love it, man. I want to go read it again. And again, this is what I would want to see. That I love this scene here. Just not spoiling much, but they're controlling the superheroes because of Mr. Mind, and some of them get inside of Superman. So he tells Captain Marvel to fly him into the sun to burn him out. These nanite things. Yeah. So Batman is controlled, and he's trying to kill Wonder Woman, because he's being controlled. He forces her. He talks her into wrapping up putting the lasso on him, so he can't turn evil. He can't betray her, and he has to wear the lasso. It's brutal pain for him, but he has to wear her lasso to keep him honest, to keep him from turning on. It's really cool.
Good concept.
They find this way of controlling them through by kidnapping Aquaman. It's kind of long, it's convoluted, but it's really good, and they use the character so brilliantly. But one of my favorite parts is the joke. All the villains are in on it except one, the Joker, because Luthor doesn't. He says, "I can't have the Joker. He's too crazy." And the Joker in Arkham Asylum, he sees that they're doing. He's going nuts, and he's pissed that Luthor's kept him out of the loop. So he gets. Let's just say he gets out, and it's pretty fucking funny. It's amazing. So anyway, we blanked around too long to everyone tonight, I guess. But
no, I never go too long. But the other thing I would say to suggest too is maybe Marvel 2-in-1 or Marvel Team Up for some lighthearted, easy issues to read. If there's a word easy, if you like Spider-Man or The Thing, those then they're usually one story in the issue, so you're not reading you don't have to read 20 issues, and if you don't like them, say, oh, I don't like that character. Or, I do like that character, but digitally, a good suggestion would be to subscribe to Comicology, and then you get a whole set of back issues that you can read. They do the monthly.
They're cheap, stuff. So yeah. Sherry, thank you for being here, dear. Thank you, Sherry. Have a wonderful night. Take care.
But I think you can pay like a monthly fee, and you can do they give you access to a bunch of different comic books. So. By paying that monthly fee versus buying them, but you don't own, quote unquote own them, but how often you can go back and reread them too. So you just you get access, kind of like that DC app used to be, or I think they still have it, where if you sub to it, then you can get all most of the DC Comics back issues. So, but Comicology has a deal with DC and Marvel and a bunch of the publishers, so you can.
Good night, Max. Yeah.
Take care, Max. Yep. So that's my tip too. You can try it for a few months, and if you don't like it, you can cancel it. So
I hear you, man. Well, Hungry Boy, I never was the big Tom Mandrake kind of a fan. I didn't really read his Spectre that much, buddy. Did you like those? I'm partial to the Aparo, Michael Fleischer Aparo Spectre, buddy. And that's gonna be another recommendation one of these days. Thank you, Max. Though, thank you all for being here tonight. The great Eric K, PJ, the Normal Nation. Hungry Boy, buddy, thank you so much. John, thank you. Sherry, thank you. Max, let's see, Matthew Pounder, Oliver, So many of you, 6, you lovely 6. Thank you for being here. A big thanks, Kal-El was here. So many other wonderful friends that have probably already gone by now, but big thanks to you all. Really appreciate you for hanging out with us tonight. Wednesday night, it'll be more hanging out. Might just be more open talk. I don't know. I'll think of something. But big thanks, of course, to the great Mark D with a C for hanging out with me tonight. So until next time, buddies. And again, check out my new video, and I'll have new videos coming out on Wednesday as well. My new video, the Incredibly Weird Hulk. So, and have a great night. And thanks to the great Stone Loki for this intro and outro.